Hey, folks, just selling in, waiting for my YouTube window to kick on. And happy hump day, everyone. And there we go. Let's do this and this. Jill's already with us tonight. We're going to go to live chat here in the room. See who joins us. I'll say hi to Annalie before Annalie pops in. There's Tammy, is first to class. Hi, Tammy. So Jill, can you see the chat tonight or not?
So I'm going to watch. So I have the chat open on my phone. The problem is it goes by really fast. And
Yeah,
if
you
I'm
don't
doing
have to.
No, but I mean, if I can look at it once in a while, I like to be able to, but and plus there's so many people commenting, I can't keep up.
Yeah, I'll fill you in though too. That's my job. So, hey, Christian is with us. So is Annalie, Carol. Hello. Oh, Marianne is here too. They're all saying hi, Jilly, Nydia. Good to see everyone. Should be a fun one tonight. A lot of great questions last night that Jill does not know about, which is cool. So we'll let people file in. There's Jill. So that is Jilly Beans, by the way. It's hard for me to call you Jilly.
So you don't have to. I mean, that nickname came from that nickname actually came from my dad, believe it or not. But it got adopted for you too. But you can call me Jill. It is fine.
Joan, how are you tonight? There's Tim and Sharp Lisa and Diane and Linda, Libra Lady, Vicky. Hello. Welcome to, I guess, I don't know what we're calling this. Well, it's full moon readings with Jilly Beans tonight. And I put this under the Let's Get Metaphysical playlist. That's my ode to Olivia Newton-John, Jill. I've had that. I didn't know what to call the playlist when I started doing the videos a couple of years ago. So I just threw that in there. And it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Kat. How you doing tonight? Giselle, there you are. There's Gigi. Hello. Great to see everyone tonight. This should be a fun. We have a few really cool announcements to make tonight too, which we'll be pleased to share. I want to thank everyone who participated last night in the chat. It was a fun one. I think there ended up being 1,000 people by the end of it.
Wow.
Which was really good in total, but was really nice and all sweet comments for you, Jill.
I will go back and listen to the replays afterwards. That's what I did last time. Once the video posts with the comments.
Yeah. C-Cat, always good to see you. Aloha. Aloha means goodbye. That was one of my favorite sportscasters. Hey, C-Cat, do you know Larry Beal? Is he still doing sports out in Hawaii? I think he moved from ESPN to Honolulu like 25 years ago, but that was his little call-in at the end of his broadcast. Aloha means goodbye. People love my backdrop. What do you think, Jill?
I think it's perfect. I love it.
Isn't that nice?
But if we need to switch to Cadbury cream eggs, I'm on board.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to get the teas out of the way now? Look at this. Look what Jill did to me tonight. That's taunting.
Maybe I won't eat it right away. But I thought of you.
Dottie Bucher's with us tonight. It is Dottie's birthday, by the way, right, Dottie?
Mm-hmm.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Jessica Frank, the candle lady, is with us. Hi, Jessica. Ooh, all right. I want to get a couple questions down. There's Deborah. Hello. Carrie, good to see you. Oh, what do you know? Brush with Life is with us. I wonder who that could be.
Oh, so Carrie Foster is one of my really, really good friends. She's my soul sister. I did classes with her.
Is she now?
And yes. And so I was and my mentor, Deb Stout, is in the chat too. So Deb Stout is my mentor that I did my classes with.
Like you're already giving acceptance speeches, Jill. You haven't even got the question one yet.
I know, right?
I'm trying C-Cat. That's okay, C-Cat. You look him up. Larry Beal. Elisa Vet is with us. Hello. Deborah says she loves you. You probably see that, though.
Yeah.
Of course. Lots of love for you. There's Betty Cantrell is with us. Great to see everyone. Okay, so we're starting to get in there. I know it's early, 6:30 is early for some folks, but we're getting underway. So we introduced Jill to the channel as a reader last week. She had been us before on Bridge Buddy Roulette with Christian, and I think we had, who else? Was it just the three of us that time?
It was and Linda.
Oh yeah, and Linda was with us too. Yep. Yep. The fearsome foursome. So last week we sort of introduced Jill to the channel as a reader. She sort of we got the A to Z on her. You can watch that, of course, if you'd like to get more background info on Jill. Of course, we're going to learn more about her tonight as well. But this is the first time we're actually going to do a sit down, strap in, full moon readings for you all. Jill's been sweating this out all day. You have it.
You know, it's so funny. It's like I during work today, I was like, I just need to get done with work. I need to get ready. Like, you know, I'd much rather be doing this than working.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, you have a highly stressful job. So you have to come home. You have to deal with traffic coming from Boston. Then you got to decompress, et cetera, et cetera.
Luckily, I didn't have to drive into Boston today. Next week I will be though. But still, just learning how to like just shut my laptop off and like shut the door and walk away can be hard. But anyways.
Yes. Michael from Montana. Hello, hello, hello. Speaking of Montana, as we say hi to Janet Snelly too. Janet Snelly. We did get a gift this week that I unboxed earlier from Montana, from Basin, Montana. All right, so I have the gift here, beautifully packaged, right? And you see the return address, no name on the return address. It came with this beautiful card. The first thing I noticed about the card before opening it, it came in a black envelope. You don't see a lot of black envelopes for greeting cards. So right away, that jumped out. Let's open this up for you, folks. Nicey, right? Very pretty and sparkly. You like that? Hi, Corey. Looking forward to side-by-sides in the summer, perhaps. Thank you for all of your time and effort for great shows. Much appreciated. Ring the bell. Now, not signed. Inside the card, it's a black card. Here's a little note, not signed. So I don't know who did this. Now, maybe that's deliberate, which is fine. And then we have three little gifts like this in the box. Nice little pouches, very decorative. And I don't know, Jill, maybe you know what that symbolism is. I don't. Maybe someone out there does.
I almost want to say, if I didn't know better, if it didn't come from the States, I would say it was from you, but
So the gifts were a bell. Now, folks, can you hear this? Right.
Not
so no
really.
one can hear this. All right. A second bell. Nope. Can't hear that. It's unbelievable. They're beautiful sounding. And then this, an ode to Montana. How about this for a bell? See that, folks? Very cool. But when you ring that.
Do you have like the noise canceling setting on, which could be why we don't hear the bell?
Yeah. So I now have 20 bells and no one can hear any of them. But they're sweet. They're here. I think once we start doing side by sides, it might be different when it's two people sharing a mic, because I remember when doing the shows with Annette, she would have her dinner bell and people could always hear the dinner bell. They couldn't hear other bells. It's really weird. We have anything from cowbells to church bells in the background and people couldn't hear them. So who knows? But anyway, so thank you for that. I don't know exactly who it was. I think someone has said here and there that they're going to send bells to us. But this is what happens is people either send things anonymously or it's they don't even sign their handle. So anyway, so there you go. Yeah, Christian says get an air horn. Yeah, no one can hear anything. It's unbelievable. They sound beautiful, by the way. So anyway,
I wish I had a bell.
Yeah,
if I had a bell, I'd try it out to see. I'd probably have some. I should remember that, to grab a bell to see if I ring it, if anyone can hear it.
Yeah,
so I'm not using a mic.
Luckily, everyone has their bell emojis at the ready. So we just want to thank whoever in Basin, Montana. Basin, Montana. What do you know? So there is that. Jessica, what would happen if you rang the bell away from the mic? No, nothing. Who knows? We can't win. It's your noise canceling microphone. Yeah, Sydney's right. That's what kind of what we've always thought it was. Although it was weird because, like I said, every now and then Annette would have a dinner bell that everyone could hear every time. So who knows? Right. We've done that, Lisa. We've done the talking and the bell.
Can you hear this, Corey?
Yep.
So I can ding this if you want tonight.
Yeah.
My singing bowl that I don't know how to use because I'm not musical.
We'll get you lessons somewhere. Okay, there's Joe Navardo's with us. Okay, so hello. So, all right. So thanks for joining us tonight. So full moon readings with Jilly Beans. We do have a few announcements to make right from the top. Number one is that you can learn more if you're a Facebooker at all. Jill, her Facebook group is called Soul Connections. So if we have a chance, I know, Jill, some of your friends are in the chat. If they want to copy and paste the actual URL of the group, because I know if people look up Soul Connections, it'll take them to 50 pages called Soul Connections.
So they can't because they're not moderators. Only moderators can put links in the chat.
Oh, no. We can.
You can.
All right, hold on. Let me do that so then Anna Lee can have that to work with.
Because I know Christian is part of the group because I had sent him, we're friends on Facebook.
All right, so I'm already in there. So Jill, why don't you start off by just explaining to folks who don't know what are full moon readings?
So full moon readings are just because the full moon is very impactful, especially on me. Like it affects my sleep, it affects my moods, all that stuff. So every full moon has a reason or a purpose. So pretty much the readings will all be from, and everyone that knows me, I'm going to just stick to one deck, except for the exception of our birthday girl. So I have a deck called Moonology, and I will pull just from this deck, and it's what you need to know during this full moon. That's what is the message the universe wants you to know. And I do have a little bit of information to share with everyone about the full moon. And in meditation, preparing for tonight, I did get kind of, I always don't like to call it a channeled message, but I just the message I heard for everyone tonight, for like the collective, shall we say.
Good. All right, so there is that. So we can do a collective card. So in fact, actually, someone actually requested if you could do that.
Yeah, I figured we would anyways, just because that's what we did last time. Like we pulled a card, I think at the beginning and end for the collective. And just because it is the full moon, so I just got this full moon candle. I lit it, but then I realized my desk shakes too much. I don't want to burn my house down. So I decided to leave it unlit. And I have my moon tarot necklace on, and I got some other jewelry that is like related to the moon. Just I just don't have it on because it gets clunky and in my way for now, but I got it all in front of me to help channel this energy.
How come no one sent us moon pies? That would have been nice.
That might be a request, Corey. You might have to say, for your reading, you must send moon pie.
just throwing it out there, folks. So, okay, a few quick announcements before Jill starts us off with a card. So we always have this going on tonight, which we've been looking forward to for a while. So we're really happy Jill's with us. I don't know, maybe if I have time, I may replay this over the weekend as well, in case people want to enjoy live chat experience over the weekend and couldn't make it tonight. So there is that. Now, next week, we're changing things up slightly. Okay. So I think I'm going to be on for a live Q&A session Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, because on Tuesday night, we're going to have Celtic Tarot Sheila and me one-on-one for you Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'll probably come on a little earlier just to help set the table. But as far as I know, we're going to be with Sheila Tuesday night, 8 p.m. And then Wednesday, we are introducing a new member, Deborah Lupian, voice of the Akashic Records. So she reached out to us a couple of weeks ago. We got in touch, and she will be with us in this time slot next Wednesday. So we'll all get to learn about her. She has collaborated with Sheila in the past, which is great. I guess apparently she's been following Bridge Cape Band for more than a year. So we had a really sweet conversation today. So we're looking forward to that. So that is next week. Then I can tell you the week after that will be the return of Bridge Buddy Roulette. I know Christian's around tonight. Christian, maybe you'll be with us. Old guy may be back actually from his stint away right now, which will be nice. And we'll see who else can join us then. And then 2 weeks from today, Jill will be back with me side by side. And we're going to do side-by-side night for all of you live. And then also that night, we're going to have our first Bridge Buddy drawing. And you can win a 1-hour reading with Jilly Beans. So that's all happening in the month of March here at Bridge Cape Ann. So if you want to qualify to win a free reading from Jill, you can sign up as a Bridge Buddy. It's $2 a month. That's like our subscribing to the channel. It's just $2. You're going to do it through the Bridge Cape Ann website. Anna Lee has that link for you folks. So you don't get extra fees. YouTube doesn't take half of it. So anyway, we have that going on. You can sign up anytime, and then we're going to start having random drawings, the first being an hour reading with Jill. So we're super grateful for that. And how fun is that? And how gracious is that of Jill to do? So thank you, Jilly. There's Anna Lee with the link. Thank you, Anna Lee. So there is that. So Jill, how you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. I will say, have not slept well for the last couple of nights. The full moon does that to me, especially when it's intense. So, and I woke up with a headache today, which is some people that are sensitive to like the moon energies will wake up with a headache, but you know, ibuprofen coffee did that trick. But yeah, just haven't been sleeping well the last few nights, but you know, that is also, I am a woman. That's like the story of our lives, right? Sleep's a struggle.
Well, we're going to be watching to see when your head starts tingling. Then we know you're locked in.
Yeah. Yes. So funny enough, Carrie and Deb were there to experience when that was first happening to me. And they had to tell me to stop grabbing my head every time that happened.
Perfect. All right, folks, we're ready to get underway. If you're just tuning in, I'm Corey from Bridge Cape Ann. She is Jill Diliberti. You know her as Jilly Beans, coming to you from Gloucester, Massachusetts. And Jill is performing full moon readings for us all tonight. And to start things off, Jill, why don't you begin with a community card?
So just before we do the community card, I just would like to just talk about what this full moon's about. And this is something I probably don't have to say, but because I'm crazy, I feel like I need to say it. So a lot of people know I was really sick last year, right? And one of the residuals is my memory sometimes with recall. So I actually do have some typed out notes that I wrote. So if you see me looking down, it sounds like I'm reading. I just wanted people to know that that's kind of why I do it. I have horrible handwriting, so I can't read my own handwriting, but that's something I still struggle with. Even now. And last week when I came on, that was the first time I had done readings like that since I was sick. So it was so fantastic. I can't thank everyone enough because it was really like getting my sea legs back and getting back into that groove that I wasn't in for so long. So really means a lot to me. All the wonderful comments, and I'm so happy everyone was happy with their reading. So, and that's why I volunteered to come again tonight. So
yeah, very supportive community here. So we thank everybody for that.
So the full moon technically was yesterday, right? But that energy sticks around for at least 2 to 3 more days. So this full moon was called the worm full moon. And every full moon typically has a name. It's the last full moon of winter. So the name comes from earthworms, because this time of year is when we're going to start to see earthworms start to reappear, which then brings birds. It signifies the end of winter, the beginning of spring. So that's why it's called the worm moon. I was like, oh, I don't know how I feel about worms, but anyways, it's all good. It's spring, right? So it's also in the sign of Virgo, and Virgo's an earth sign. And Virgo's ruled by Mercury, which is our planet of intellect. So this full moon, so there's a lot of thinking going on. And if you're a Virgo person, like that is an earth sign, you tend to be very grounded. You don't have your heads in the clouds like some other signs. So it's a great place for the full moon to be, for us to be grounded, to really take advantage of the energy that's happening. And it also, like Virgos are like tend to be very organized, perfectionist. They like to analyze. So those are all great traits. So it's a good time to really dig deep. And this energy is very intense. And if you were to say, what should I do during this full moon? This is a time to kind of clean house, clean out, detox, declutter where you live and your relationships too. This is a time to get rid of anything that no longer serves you highest and best, because it's all about change. So we have to like get rid of the old to let the new come in. And don't be surprised if you find yourself in like really deep conversations with people. And don't forget to prioritize like self-care too. That's another big thing. This is a great healing energy too. So if you have old resentments, this is a great time to release those to the moon. Let the universe have it. So what I got when I was in meditation, and I don't usually like to say I channel, but it kind of is what it is. So this is what I got. Take this energy, use it for big changes, and they're very like strong, like exclamation points. And to remember that we are all magnificent beings and capable of great things. Time for the old to go out, to allow for new changes to come in. Make sure to have an open heart and mind and be ready to accept these gifts that the universe wants to give us. It's not enough to think that we want change. We need to act, no matter how small. We just have to take action. Us as a collective, we have the power to do amazing things. Think of this time as a rebirth, as winter's almost over, which can be dark and gloomy, and spring is upon us. Spring is going to be coming to us sooner than later, hopefully, and bring back that color into our world. It's time to step out of the dark, embrace the light, and really change how you think and look at the world, and where you can make a more positive lookout or action in life. Remember, you are all loved, and the universe is guiding and protecting us through this big time of change. So that is what our message I got tonight was.
Very
without
nice.
a card.
Beautiful. All right. Are we ready to roll, Jilly?
Here we go. So this first card will just be for us, the collective, tonight. I swear the camera, like I'm always trying to find the right way where I get the camera and I'm not hitting the table.
And for those of you new to Jill takes her sweet time shuffling. And so there's a lot of pregnant pauses and bated breath when Jill's got the deck of cards on her.
But it's okay. It's worth it, right?
I know. I really wish I had like just a button I could press for just like suspenseful music, just a little build up. While
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Or you could do like the Jeopardy clock.
Yeah, there's always that. You're the 60 minutes stopwatch. Yeah.
All right. So our messages for the collective tonight are: show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. Expect power of change, the new moon eclipse. So I just feel like this kind of just confirms what I just told everyone as the collective. So all the purple is tons and tons of healing. Show up and show people who you are. Don't be afraid to hide behind like what you think people want you to be. Be who you are, because who you are is magnificent. And expect the powerful change. Be open and ready to receive all the changes coming our way. And this reminds me too, I did go back and listen to last week's live stream. And whenever I do a lot of readings, there's always an undercurrent of a theme that I will hear within all the messages. And it was all about change. So it kind of leads up to what we're coming, onto with the full moon, about change in good ways and changing our behaviors and patterns and breaking that stuff that no longer serves us. So this is I just feel like this is a great time to be alive. Like that's what I'm hearing. Like it's a great time to be alive.
And you mentioned the purple moon, Jill, right?
Yes.
Moon, right here.
Perfect. background.
Look at that.
Corey's fantastic.
Nicey nice. And we're underway, folks. Thanks for being with us as we enjoy full moon readings with Jill Diliberti. Now, I was on live last night, took a bunch of questions. You can feel free to drop some in here in the live chat as we progress tonight. But we do have some to start us off with. Jill, are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
Okay, let's start off with this one from Eileen. Does the full moon in your sign affect you more? So I'm an Aries. If there's a full moon in Aries, would that affect me more?
It absolutely can. It always depends too what else is going on, but usually when a full moon or a new moon. So I guess I want to just for people that are asking about what a full moon reading is, full moons are all about the end of a cycle. It's an end of a period, an end of a, it always represents endings. New moons are beginnings. So that's why those energies are really different. But I do feel like when it's in your sign, whenever planets, asteroids, the moon is in your sign, you're going to feel it more during that time period. Yeah, because I'm Sagittarius, so the last full moon was in my sign right around my birthday, and that was definitely pretty intense. I could feel that energy.
Gotcha. Very nice. Hope that helps, Eileen. And Eileen is with us in the chat tonight, which is nice to see, as always. Thanks for the question. Here's something from Jessica Frank. Corey, people may like Jilly Beans to describe some of her full and new moon rituals. Do you have any?
Oh, I do. So rituals were something that I wasn't quite sure how I felt. Like I wasn't sure how to do them. And when, in a way, I'm still a little bit of a newbie where I've only been doing this about 4 or 5 years. Then I kind of figured out a ritual can be anything that you want it to be. So I don't always do a ritual for new and full moons. It depends on if I'm drawn to it, energy, but typically what I kind of come up with. So if I want to release something, I write a letter to that person, that situation, whatever it is. I handwrite a letter. At that time, I do handwrite it. I don't type it out. I handwrite it out. I will usually, you can easily on the internet anywhere find a prayer, an invocation for a full moon. So if I see something that resonates for me, I'll screenshot it and save it. And it's kind of like a process of collecting stuff throughout the day. So I'll find my little invocation. I'm going to say, I got my letter. So usually so in the summer, in the warmer weather, I stay outside longer than I do in the winter time. But I go on my back deck and I will burn that letter. And I have this special bucket. I call it special because it's what I use to burn all my letters. I burn the letter. And as that letter's being burned, I just kind of let myself I'm very lucky it's quiet where I live. So I let myself get quiet, really just kind of feel the energy around me. As the letter is burning, I will ask for the universe to release, it's going to be released, and I'm giving it up to the universe to take away whatever it is I'm working on. Then I will say my invocation, and then I might say some other words that I just feel drawn to because I do meditate and stuff. So I might thank my guides and my angels and everyone that supports me in doing this work, and thank the universe and the moon, and just really sit in the silence and just kind of sometimes the moon is so illuminated, you just get lost looking at it. So if it's summer, I could be outside for a half hour. In the winter, it might just be 10 minutes. And I just kind of, I thank the moon. I am definitely drawn to moon cycles. So I do like to, if I ever do a ritual, it's always during a new or full moon. But I just kind of came up with it on my own, just, talking to my friends and just hearing ideas and just kind of put it together. You really can't do it wrong. that's what I learned when I was so worried about doing a ritual wrong. I realized you really can't. Now, there are rituals in certain modalities that are laid out for you, like you're supposed to use this candle with this, and that's something different. But this is personal to you, so you can't screw it up. I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, interesting. Thanks for that. All right, we're at the top of the hour, folks. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're watching Let's Get Metaphysical. These are full moon readings with Jill Diliberti. You know her as Jilly Beans here on the channel. We took a bunch of questions last night, including this one from Joan Oblinger, who asked, Jill, how do we embrace the full moon experience?
So to embrace it, you have to just really be open to it. You just really need to have your heart and your mind open to that experience. And it can be simple as you walk outside and you tell the moon, I'm open and ready to receive, or you can just set that intention when you're going to sleep. If there's a channel like doing this, that's doing full moons, and you hear a little bit more about what it represents, you could take that, like what they tell you, and say, okay, how can I apply this in my life? You know, this moon is supposed to be really good for manifesting too. So it's really up to you. Like, am I going to take this energy and run with it? And the biggest thing is, like, it all sounds great, letting go of negative patterns and all that. Putting it into action is the hard part. So if you really want to embrace the energy, look at the meaning and see where in your life it applies and actually do it. That's the hardest part, even for myself, is taking the action and embracing it.
And so, Jill, are you always sort of adhering to moon phases on your calendar? Are you following, do you follow different calendars or?
I don't. And I keep saying I want to get a moon phase. I actually have an app that I'll look at, but it's weird. I can usually feel it coming because all of a sudden I won't be able to sleep, or I feel off, and I'll look and go, oh, yep, there's a full moon in a couple of days. New moons don't affect my sleep patterns as much, but full moons really do, especially when the energy is intense. So I usually feel it coming. And I hate to even say this, but you know how like emergency rooms and stuff will talk about, oh, it's a full moon, everyone's out, they get busier. It's really true. The moon affects a lot of people. And sometimes that's my, like, oh, what's going on? Because I'll be out and I'm like, people are acting nuts. What's going on? And there's like a full moon in a day or two. So that's usually how I know.
Full moon fever. It's a thing.
Truly is.
So you mentioned too in your last answer, you mentioned the word manifest. So we have a question from Darlene Keller who says, Jill, are opportunities made more manifest during the full moon?
Yes. So, I mean, you can always manifest, but this energy is so big and intense. Like anything you're trying to do is going to be bigger, and chances are more abundance. And it's going to be amplified, if that makes sense. So if you're trying to manifest something, manifest away, envision, do whatever you do to manifest, because this is a great time to kind of like ride that train with this energy right now.
Interesting. All right. Next question comes from Vicky Nedwick. Vicky's always with us. How you doing, Vicky? Jill, are you supposed to put your crystals in the light of the full moon to charge them?
So I wouldn't say you're supposed to. It's a way to. I think that's how I would phrase it. Like, yes, the full moon is a great time to charge and cleanse all your crystals. It does recharge them with and that's when it's important. If you're going to use that energy to charge your crystals, you need to put your intent into it. What do you want from your crystals? Every couple months I do. So like, this is a finished basement, so there's no moonlight or some like coming in here. So every once in a while I lug all my crap upstairs, and it's all over the house, and like all my jewelry and crystals are in all my windowsills, and I lay out all my card decks. But that's something I only do, like, I would say every couple months, because it is a process. But I do like that. It is a great way to cleanse all your crystals and recharge them. And whatever that energy is. Like right now, if you want to manifest and you have crystals for that, definitely have them in the moonlight to charge and get energized and have your intention. That's the biggest thing. You have to set your intentions. They'll only work if you tell them what you want them to do.
It's interesting because I noticed a big difference from where my office was in Gloucester compared to now. Now I actually have natural light, sunlight and moonlight can come into the room here. And it's such a huge difference. Whereas before it was boxed in, you feel shut out from the world, you need the luminescence,
You do. Like they've done studies on it. I worked in an office that we were near no windows, and you really almost felt discombobulated. Like, is it light out? Is it dark out? You couldn't see because you had no windows. So yeah, I do believe it is so important.
Let's see. Sharp Elisa. I love when the moon shines on me through the window while I sleep, just like recharging my pendulum and crystals, et cetera, et cetera. Very nice. What else we have? Angela S. I put my crystals in the window last night. So there's that. Joanna Carson. I use the full moon to cleanse crystals and make moon water. Now, what is moon
There you
water?
go.
Wait, what is moon water? I've never heard of that before.
So I've heard of it, but I don't want to explain it. So pretty much it just energizing the water with the moon energy. Like if you think about it in the sense of like you're charging crystals, so you're charging water.
I'm leaving a glass of water on the windowsill where the moonlight's really?
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
She might explain more. It's not something I do, but if it's something she does, she might be able to give a better explanation than I can.
Yeah, Joanna, if you have a minute, or anyone out there familiar with that, I that's the first time I've ever heard that. It's pretty cool. So, okay, well, thanks for the question, Vicky. We appreciate it. Next up is Froxy Roxy, who's always with us too.
Yes.
And she asked, Jill, is a full moon more conducive to love? People falling in love or meeting their soulmate?
I would say it all depends on you. So like right now, this is a great time to build new relationships. So if love's what you're looking for, that's when we talk about manifesting, put it out there to the moon, tell them you want love in your life. You want to bring love into your life, into your heart, the right kind of love, the kind of love that you're going to recognize. So, I think a full moon will help, but I don't think it necessarily means like there's not a full moon that I've ever read about. I could be wrong. I don't know everything that is more driven towards romantic relationships. Romantic relationships can be tricky. Also, my friend Carrie says, old Mason. Okay. My friend Carrie put a little explanation about how to make moon water.
Oh, no kidding. Let's see. Eileen, I have a moon-shaped wooden bowl that I keep my crystals in and had them outside last night to recharge. Willow Breeze.
Awesome.
Mine were in the moonlight. My intention was abundance. Today it showed up in various ways. Patty D's asking, what will the moon water do? Also asking, can you put a crystal in the moon water? And then Carrie Foster says, old wine bottles or mason jars of spring water, leaving the full moon.
That's my girl.
Leading up and after to create the moon water. You can place certain crystals with the water and set intention for the moon water. So there you go. How do you like that? Yeah. So this is one of the reasons why I like doing this show, Jill. It's you have your expertise. We have a room full of people interested and with varying levels of expertise and different things as well. And it all kind of comes to the table here during the show. So very nice.
I don't know everything.
I know we're all learning here.
Either.
Well,
and I'm so glad my friend showed up.
Yeah, very nice. Gigi by the Sea, moon water in a mason jar overnight, and you can drink it with intention all in one day or several days.
There you go.
Oh, there you have it. Interesting. Yeah, keep it coming, folks. Okay, thanks for that question. On to this one from Sandra Spidel. Sandra is always with us. And she, how you doing, Sandra? It would be great to get Jilly's take on the full moon in Virgo.
So that's what I talked about a little bit in the beginning with it being in the sign of Virgo. So, funny enough, I actually have on my wrist my youngest is a Virgo. You can't really see it's upside down, but I actually have the Virgo zodiac sign with Aquarius for my boys.
If you do a handstand, it'll be right side up.
Yeah, and then I'll be broken, Corey, and you'll be without it. And everyone will be like, it'll be live for everyone
I
to
tried.
see. So Virgo is an earth sign. So anytime it's in an earth sign, that is grounding energy, which is fantastic because other zodiacs are more like you're in that dreamy kind of place, like a Pisces, which sometimes we should be in that dream world to figure out what we want. But right now, Virgo is like, we are grounded. We are grounded, centered, and strong and focused. And Virgos, like, they're analyzers. So deep conversations, like, they love to analyze and dig deep, which is why I know this too, and I know this for a fact too, because that's how my son is. But it's ruled. So I love astrology. I'm trying to get back into it. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of intellect. So it's all about how you think. So during the full moon in Virgo, it's all about how you think, changing those patterns, breaking old ones, bringing in new ones. Like, how do you want to think about looking at the world? It's been such crazy times. Change our outlook, because I know it sounds kind of cliche, but that ripple effect, like, one person can make a change. Imagine if we all changed, the collective change, how that would be. Oh, I can see your pull.
So Christian really, Montone started that.
Oh, Christian, I love you. Mm-hmm. So it's all about that's what this full moon's about. Like, how do you want to change your thinking? Because that's how we can change the world, like in the bigger. So that's Virgo's a big picture thinkers. So think about how you can change the world by doing your part, because you're one part of it. And hopefully, like a lot of stuff, it'll become contagious, because I do really feel like positivity and all that is contagious, because if you're around someone who's negative all the time, you tend to be negative. But if you're positive, you can spread that around. And that's kind of like why we're doing this, right? We're trying to just get some positivity out there and, just have fun and not take life so seriously for a minute, because life is serious.
It is.
How's that sound?
The two of us know it sounds great. Here's a cool little anecdote from Pixie Dust. You put a silver dollar or 50-cent piece from 1964 earlier in a red envelope with your written abundance wishes on the new moon, and put the money in your wallet on the full moon.
Very cool.
You have that. Pixie, is the 1964 mean anything? Is that your birth year? Or I'm just throwing things out there. I don't know, but yeah, very cool. Good stuff. We're flying tonight.
So another thing I do too, one time I was going to burn a letter for a ritual and something stopped me. And I actually folded it up, put it away somewhere where it's not a place that I go to often. It had intentions, I think, on it, so that when the time is right, I'll find it again and see how I did. Because that's like, I was getting all ready to do my thing. I'm like, I'm going to keep this letter and I'm going to put it away. And when it's right, I'll find it again. I haven't found it yet again. Hasn't been right yet. But so that's where I say, like, rituals are not written in stone and they're your own personal ones. So they might change. I go with my gut.
Interesting. Yeah. So that 1964. So it's the amount of silver in the coin, says Pixie Dust. Very
yeah.
Cool. And then Sharp Lisa followed up on that as well. Interesting. Cool. And Carrie's going nuts in the chat, by the way. You'll be happy to know.
No, I know. I see your comments. I'm so happy that they're here because, I learned so much from them, and they are just awesome people with so much knowledge and gifts that I'm glad they're here to help me out.
Oh, there's Wendy J. 1964 or earlier at 99% silver. So there you go. Yeah, made with more silver back then. I wonder what is everything sort of made mostly from nickel now? Everything. Anyway, okay, thanks for the question. I started with a Sandra question, so here we go. Good to see you tonight, Benjamin. How you doing? We have this question from, let's see, where do we want to go here?
We can go as weird as you want, Corey.
What's that?
I said we can go as weird as you like. I don't know what questions you got last night, so.
Obviously, well, people are still asking some questions about you, which we can get to in a bit. But how about this one from Dorothy Lynn? How does a full moon affect small children?
So for small children, I guess it would vary. It depends on if they're affected by the moon. Like, kids are young and kids, how do you gauge a 2-year-old's energy, right? I just think about my kids when they're younger. I would think it does. Just like anyone else, they feel it because they actually feel so much more than I feel like we do, because we block it out as adults. And it's probably something they don't know how to name. They have this feeling, like really amped up, or you would think like they just ate a pound of sugar, and it could really just be the full moon. So if you do have young kids and they're sensitive to like everything around them, just notice if like during the full moon you see changes in their behaviors, and then you'll kind of know. And you can put things like, have get, one of the misters to have lavender to help calm them down, or do some other things to help them kind of, work their way through the energy till it passes.
Gotcha. Okay, how about this one from Betty, who asks, Jill, what effects does the moon have on your attitude? One's attitude, I would say one's attitude. It could be you specifically to start with.
So for myself, I will say sometimes the full moon has not put me in a great mood. I could be kind of snippy, which sounds crazy, I know, but I could be. I have noticed that there has been some energies that make you, and it's kind of like because you feel this unrest inside and you don't know where it's coming from, or it could just be really big and it's making like you're just scattered, so you have no patience. So it can affect you that way. I don't think this full moon is going to do that, but there are ones that can definitely affect your attitude, because that's what it's bringing up. There's a reason why it's bringing it up. That's the whole thing. If you could acknowledge that you're acting a certain way, then you ask the next question. So why am I acting this way? What is bothering me? Maybe I need to let that go. Just saying.
Well, and I can tell you, Jill, is someone who more than 90% of my clients for the last 10 years have been women. And more than 90% of the followers here are women. And I kind of know when there's a full moon.
I bet you do, Corey.
I pick up all sorts of energy.
So let me ask you a question, Corey. How is Bubba affected by the full moon? Do you notice any differences?
Honestly, he's hard to gauge because he sleeps 22 hours out of the day, like legit. He sleeps that much, and he's an older dog too. I don't know if he is as affected by things as much as we've had other dogs that have definitely been more sensitive and more aware. Bubba's kind of a big dope, and he just kind of lives for snacks and naps. He legit is like Garfield, but as a
except for lasagna, no lasagna.
Yeah. So it's funny is I don't know if you can hear it. You can never hear the bells through the microphone, but you can eventually hear him because he's snoring like crazy behind me. So this is what he does. Do you mind
showing him? Just because my friend Deb and Carrie, they love dogs. My friend Deb actually has a husky rescue, so I think they would appreciate seeing Bubba.
Well, let's see if I have to angle the camera.
And I know I forget the name. I know he's like a big, like
he's an English Mastiff.
English Mastiff.
So he's probably a good 180 pounds. Yeah, there he is. So this is 90% of Bub's day right there.
Good life. And
I've said his name 100 times. He hasn't moved at all. One of the funniest things that he does is you can yell at him or just try to get his attention, and he either pretends to sleep right through it or his eyes will open, but he won't move an inch.
I
And he just
love it.
keeps
It's like
going. But anyway,
like a child.
yeah. So he'll be up a little later on and hang out with us for a bit. But he had a big night last night. I thought we had a poll in the crowd wanted Bub to eat a potato. I mean, a carrot. Carrot was picked over potato, so we did that last night. So that was a lot of fun. So
I was gonna spell out the SNACK like you did last time because you didn't want him to hear that, so he thinks it's time.
oh yeah, he's got his trigger words for sure. So yeah, he'll be joining us a little later on. I'm positive about it.
Excuse me.
All right, there is that. Where are we, Jill? Another question?
Yeah. So I mean, were people just asking before we start pulling more cards? Were there any other questions about just other things in general, about me, about anything else?
Yeah, I got a ton. I've got a ton here.
Oh, okay.
So how about this one? Because this may warrant a card from Jean Nizolowski. Jean's always with us. Hello, Jean. What does Jill see in general for the rest of March?
So I think, I mean, change is just something I've been feeling that since for a while, but I think we'll probably pull a card about that at the end. We'll do like a card for the month of March for the collective. Because I really haven't pulled cards asking about that. I know last week I pulled from my numerology deck and it was all about like using your intuition, and it was a number 22, which is a really, really powerful number. So I really feel like March is going to be a big month. That's just what I keep hearing, seeing, feeling. It's going to be a big month. And I'm already seeing some big things, like just in my personal life with work and other stuff like that, like big changes and shifts happening. But I think we need to. I think the energy's been kind of stale. I think we're ready for some change.
We shall see. Yeah, we'll see. We end up pulling later on. Okay, let's learn a little bit more about Jill here. Tammy S has a question. What are Jill's thoughts on time travel?
So there's many thoughts about time travel. So I never discount anyone's beliefs or what they think is possible, but do I think time travel is possible? I kind of do. And, you know, that kind of leads into the question of like, which I've heard talked about a lot, like, are me, Jill, am I in other timelines? In other, like, is there like 20 other me's in a different dimension or timeline or something, living a life, but it's different than what you see here? Maybe I'm a doctor in another timeline. Maybe I am rich and famous in another one. I don't discount it. I really think there is so much with the universe and how everything works that's unknown, that we don't know yet. Maybe we're not supposed to know. There's a reason why we don't know.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think it's not possible. I have a friend, funny enough, who has developed this theory of a nostalgia loop, and that everything is just repeating. Like, you can go back 20 years today, and if you looked at news, movies, songs, TV shows, you're going to see the same themes and occurrences that we see today 20 years later. So it's almost like nothing's really new. We're just always reliving the past.
Repeating the formula.
He has a great theory about it. And he's been doing this for a while. And, you know, to know him too, it's like, you know, you're trying to follow along, but there are times you can see where, like the Simpson episodes are a big thing, right? Because supposedly the Simpsons predict the future. I don't know if I believe that, but there's things that like happened 20 years ago on the Simpsons that you're like, oh my God, it so connects to like this happening now. So it's interesting. Just don't get lost. If you try and travel, don't get lost. That would be my only advice.
You know, it's weird, Jill, because I know how much this topic means to a lot of people, or how curious people get about it. And I never have been. I mean, I guess it's a cool thing to think about, but I never get hung up on it, or I never go down any, you know, dark alley or a long avenue ever really contemplating it. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but I mean, it's
no, I mean, you're just so poor. You're present, you're living life, right?
Mm.
So why are you worrying about time travel? If you think about it, you're just living your life. And I just know you're very present in your life every single day. So you're not worried about time travel. If anyone's interested, like CERN, that company in Switzerland, I believe, they're the ones that supposedly have opened portals and all this other stuff. And I know something came out recently where they were able to find concrete scientific evidence of another dimension. You just have to just take it with, I always say, just have a little skepticism and listen to your gut, take what resonates. I just feel like how science could really pinpoint that, I don't know. I'm not a scientist, though. I just think just watch with caution, I would say, and don't get sucked into any black holes, please.
Yeah.
We'll try to find you.
That's a big no-no.
Hope that
Thanks
helps.
for the question. That was from Tammy. Good to see you, Tammy, as always. Thank you for that. Here's another one. This is from Damon, who's usually, I don't think Damon's with us yet, but he'll be in here at some point. He was with us last night, and he asked, Jill, do you get visions?
So I guess I would need to know what you mean by visions. Like, do I get predictions, or do I just randomly see stuff? So the answer would be yes. I have gotten predictions, or I guess visions of something happening, but it's always a little hard to, it's not that I don't trust my intuition or my gut, but it's not typically till it comes to fruition, which usually is about 2 weeks, that I'm like, okay, that was definitely a prediction. A lot of people get those types of messages in their dreams, and I don't ever remember my dreams. It's just, I don't know if it's just not a way that once in a while I do, but when I have had a prediction, it kind of just comes to me as a thought. And I kid you not, the thought starts out as, wouldn't it be crazy? Something happens. And I'm always like, okay. And then 2 weeks later, it might happen. I'm like, oh, I guess it. Oh, look, I think Damon's here. I'm like, I guess so. So that's why I say I don't do predictions. It's so, we have free will, and I never want to plant seeds. So I kind of keep those to myself. But there are times, like me and some of my other friends, like we'll talk after an event and be like, oh my God, this is like what was when we were getting these, like hearing and seeing these things, this is what it meant. Because that's the thing, they never lay it out in black and white for you. Like, don't I wish it was that easy? Like, they don't send you a typed copy of like what's going to happen. It's all a little bit cryptic, and then you kind of put it together after it happens.
Can you hear Bubba?
Sense.
Can you hear him?
I can't hear him, but that doesn't mean anything.
Flopping around back there. Miriam Prokopek states, I lost it because I worked at an international airport for many years. We didn't need a calendar because it was always clear from people's behavior when it was a full moon.
Right? Yeah.
Totally believable. Good stuff.
Christian
Libra
got
lady,
shot
I have
down
premonition.
for the headstand.
What's that?
Christian got shot down for the headstand.
Yeah, he did. Libra lady, I have premonition dreams since high school. There you go. All right, interesting. How about this one, Jill? Well, actually, Jill, if you're ready to pull a card, it is Dottie Bucher's birthday today.
That is right.
And she would like a special read if possible. She is the birthday girl.
So for the birthday girl, I'm going to need her to answer in the chat. I will say we don't have to pull from the Moonology deck if you don't want to. We can pull from another one with a question if you like. I'll leave it up to you because you're the birthday girl.
Yeah. All right. So we'll let Dottie. So let us know. I know you're in there earlier in the chat, but if you're there, if you would like to ask a question, that's fine. If you would just like Jill to do a general read for you, she can do that as well. Okay. So there is that. And
if she wants, because it is her birthday, she could, if you drop the link to the Soul Connection, she can reach out to me and I will do like a quick 15-minute quick reading for her birthday if she likes.
Very nice. And so now would be a good time to reset the table here. We're now 1 hour into the show with Jilly Bean. She is giving full moon readings tonight. We're very grateful for her for that. So you have questions, you can fire my way. I do have a bunch more to get to that we gathered last night. We do want to mention our upcoming schedule once again. I will probably replay this show sometime over the weekend. We have a slight adjustment to the schedule next week. I'm going to do my live Q&A and hanging out and maybe Bridge Buddy Roulette on Monday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern time next week, because Tuesday, when I normally do the Q&A sessions, we're actually going to be debuting a show with Celtic Tarot Sheila. So we'll be with her. So that Monday, I'll gather questions for the Tuesday night show, and that's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember now, Sheila is in Colorado, so there's a 2-hour time difference there. So that's why that'll be at 8 p.m. And then Wednesday, we're introducing Deborah Lupian, the voice of the Akashic Records. She'll make her bridge debut in this slot next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., the usual spot. And then the following week, Jilly and I are going to do a side-by-side live for you. And then during that show, we will have our first drawing for Bridge Buddies. And to become a Bridge Buddy, you can subscribe for just $2 a month to be eligible for all these random drawings we're going to be having, including this is a full hour reading with Jill. And Jill always goes above and beyond. So it's going to be, you're going to get your 60 minutes worth. Trust me there. So we're super grateful for that. Annalie has the link if you would like to become a Bridge Buddy and sign up to get in on possibly winning that with Jill. And then, of course, that prize list will expand as things roll on here on the bridge. So there is that. So I am Corey. She is Jill. We're coming to you from Cape Ann, Massachusetts tonight. So thanks for being with us as always. And let's continue with our questions, Jill, if you're ready for that.
Sure thing, my friend.
People want to know a little more about you. So, well, how about this one? We'll start with this question. Do solar flares affect people psychically?
I would say, I'll be honest, solar flares are not something I know a lot. I know they exist. I know that a lot of people are concerned about them. I kind of feel like they don't. I could be wrong though. And I don't want to give like spoilers, but I actually did listen to Deborah's live stream the other night. And someone asked that question about solar flares. So I am going to steal her answer right now. Full disclosure. She said that they do not. I believe her answer was no, that solar flares don't affect us mentally, physically, psychically. You know, obviously there is always concern they're going to like knock out the grid, right? But it doesn't seem like it does. But I'll be honest, it's not something. I think I don't really look into solar flares because that's something that will keep me up at night if I know it's going to hurt me. So that's something I've learned to do. If it's something that I know I'm going to obsess about it, because it's like going to end the world, I don't look at it because that just doesn't do me any good. So I don't really know a lot, but I think the answer would be no. I mean, they're happening. We're all okay, right?
Right. I mean, it's an interesting question because it was specifically asked if people are affected psychically. I can say this, more than moon phases, the sun, or the seasons, I notice more during solar flares than any other event like that. And I don't know if it's because I'm so tied to technology and I see how it affects other people, or the weird thing is it's also like something like you see it coming as well. You hear there's going to be a flare coming in 3 days or 3 weeks times. And then just like clockwork, it sort of happens like that, where things get kind of kooky and upside down for a little bit. So it's weird. So it's weird the things you pick up on, you know, or notice.
There's the answer, right? So it doesn't affect me, but it affects Corey. Everything is energy, and whatever happens affects everyone differently because we're all sensitive to different things. So there's a question I just saw in the chat from Sean 12.
Okay.
It caught my eye. And that's why if you want to look, if you want to look at that question, ask it, it's fine.
Well, I have Dottie's response, the birthday girl's response. So do you want, you want to do this first and then we'll get to Sean?
Yeah.
Okay. So Donnie says, thanks so much, Jilly Beans. Since it's the full moon, let's stay with your moon deck. So much thanks.
Okay.
What a great birthday.
Fantastic. Happy birthday to you today. So this is for Dottie. And the only people that will not judge how I pull my cards right now are Deb and Carrie, because they're the ones I learned with.
All right, folks, the shuffle and the blow.
The dramatic.
There we go. Just so well, Jill, what are you doing when are you breathing into the deck or
So what I do is I'm blowing. So I tap it first.
Mhm.
Then when I blow on the deck, I am blowing away the energy from a prior reading and my intentions for this reading.
I do
So
the same
that's
thing with a
one.
can of beer before I open it. I tap it, blow on the top,
Yeah.
pop it. I
There
forget
you
all
go.
about that last beer.
That's right. Yeah, but at least there's no one that can come around and be a jerk and hit the top of my bottle and make it all foam.
I used to do that.
I did too, Corey. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I used to do that all the time. Oh, for dog. Okay, for Dottie.
Someone cue the Jeopardy music while Jill shuffles.
Last week we had tons of jumpers though, too, remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was never just one card with you, Jill. Very rarely.
But we got one just for Dottie.
Oh, beautiful.
Very weird.
Beautiful.
But it's a good one though. So for you, Dottie, on your birthday, you got emotions are running high, super moon. But what caught my eye on this was super moon. In other words, and this card is like all purple and beautiful white light. So to match Corey's background.
Look at that. Dottie, happy birthday. That was for
It's
you.
better than my golf border. But anyways, for you, Dottie, I don't know if like right now a lot of emotions are like coming to the surface. If there's a lot of emotional energy around you, and because you know how there's times of emotions are running high through everyone, through families, through friends. This card is saying to you though, it's all going to be okay because you are protected with white light. Healing's going to come out of it. So even if emotions are kind of high and bubbling, you know, up over the surface, just know the supermoon is here to protect you and cover you with beautiful white light and healing. It's all going to be okay. I just think too, the supermoon, I just keep hearing like, you're super. You are super. So I hope that helps.
Happy birthday, Dottie. There you go.
Happy birthday, Dottie.
How nice is that? Thank you, Jill. Okay, so Sean 12 did have a question. What are Jill's thoughts on skeptics?
So my thought on skeptics, I love skeptics. There is nothing wrong with, and this is just my opinion, right? This is just my feeling. I think skeptics are good. Skeptics are what keep people like me in check. And I love to turn a skeptic into a believer. They don't have to believe me. And trust me, if someone thinks what I do is weird, that is fine. They can feel that way about it. It's all good. If there was no skeptics, think about like how people could just run crazy right around the earth. So it is okay to be a skeptic, especially when it comes to the metaphysical world. You just have to remember, are you okay with just accepting some things, even if there's not a concrete answer behind it? And if that doesn't feel right to you, don't believe it. There's no big deal. Like, you might think I'm full of crap, and that's okay. Like, you can be a skeptic. I can read on you and you can be like, you know what? I don't think you really have anything, and that's okay. I'm not here to make you a believer, but I think skeptics are good. I like talking to one. Linda was a little bit of a skeptic, not in the sense of
Linda Sabo, right?
Yeah, Sabo. Not to say like she didn't believe, but she's very analytical. So she needed to see it in practice for her to understand it. And I kept trying to explain it to her, but it wasn't until we actually did an exercise, she went, oh, okay. And sometimes that's all you need. But I think skepticism is good. I don't think it hurts. And that's how you discern someone who's good, who you like, who has good intentions, or someone you're like, yeah, I don't think what they're saying, it doesn't feel right. I think they're full of crap.
And a piece of you has to, question authority, call out someone on BS sometimes. I mean, people have, just as people are more perceptive than others and on different wavelengths, people do have BS meters.
Yep.
Some are really good at reading that too, or,
oh yeah. And some people will say like, I am doing this just based off of like, I'm just like, everything's generic. Like anyone could do this. And yeah, sure, fine. You feel that way about it. But I know what's true for me.
There you have it. All right, some nice comments in the crowd here. Mary B. Dear Corey, I love your energy, and I am grateful you are continuing your show working with psychics. I mostly lurk, but I want you to know that I appreciate you. And hello, everyone. So thanks for that, Mary B. I mean, I should point out that for those of you used to watching me and Annette on Wednesday evenings, we'll get back to that sometime later this year. I'm living in a temporary house right now. The good doctor and I, our house back in Gloucester, is being completely renovated. I'm talking from basement to roof, and that's going to be going on. It's going on right now. So we'll get back there and then doing side by side outdoors again. Now, what's cool is in 2 weeks' time, Jill's actually going to be here side by side, maybe on the other side of that moon, doing a show with me. We're going to have to find a room for your 86 decks, Jill, but we'll figure it out.
I am not bringing 86, and I might have gotten a couple more because I'm part of a card club. I know it's something I signed up for a while ago, and it's like every 4 months they send you 3 decks, but I think one of them I'm definitely going to give away to someone. I just don't know to who or what, but it's something like I said, this is where I can work out my issues. I'm not ordering anymore. I just have one that's on pre-order, and that's it. Cut off.
Let's see. Dottie says, can't thank you both enough for taking time out for my birthday. Jilly Beans, you have no idea how I needed your positive read. Many thanks and abundant blessings.
You are so welcome, Dottie. It is my honor and pleasure. And happy birthday.
Let's see. Where else are we now? How about this question from Giselle? Does Jilly communicate with animals?
So, me and animals, right? Let's talk about me and animals. So
here we go. Cue the music.
I don't have a strong connection to animals, and partly it's because I'm allergic to most of them. So yeah, Corey, I am allergic to Bubba, but don't worry, it'll be fine because I'm good for a few hours. Don't worry, it's fine.
Jill, it could be an issue. He's right here now.
It's more like I won't pet him, and I think he'll be okay with that. But trust me, I get plenty of family members that have animals. Did you hear me say his name? So my connection to animals, as a young kid and most of my life, it wasn't enjoyable for me to be around them just because they made me sneeze and itch and all that stuff. But with that being said, I do like animals. Like I love cute cat videos and I love seeing Bubba. It's not that I don't like animals. I just don't have a strong connection. But again, with that being said, I have recently tapped into some animal energy. One was for a friend. Another one, it's my friend's dog who one night, I swear to God, she was looking at me and I'm like, I know she's like trying to talk to me. So if I try, I can. It usually helps if I already know the animal, but I do know people that can read on animals. Funny enough, my friend Carrie and Deb, and I do know a couple other people that do pet readings. John, I don't know if anyone follows John Holland. He does a whole thing on pet readings because they're a soul just like us. They're just, furry and got 4 legs. So I hope that answered your question.
It actually we had a follow-up question from Tim Walliser. Can you ask Jill about animal souls?
They have a soul. Like if you have an animal that passed, they're around you. Don't be surprised if say you had a beloved pet that passed away. Just like a loved one, don't be surprised if all of a sudden you smell their dog food or you can just feel their presence around you. They're up there and I'm going to say heaven just for the sake of ease. They're up in heaven. They go across the rainbow bridge. They stay with you. They were your pet for a reason. So they are always with you. I do believe if you had a family pet that they are watching over you just like your loved ones.
There you have it. Thanks for the question there. Let's see, Mary B. I look forward to seeing Corey and Jilly side by side. I'm subscribing to Corey's channel. I love hearing about Gloucester, even though I live in Northern California. Oh, thanks, Mary.
Well, we can chat about Gloucester, Corey. My God.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm still working on that big documentary on Howard Blackburn. He's the most legendary fisherman to ever come out of this area. His stories are crazy. The fingerless navigator, they called him, because he actually had his hands frozen to oars when he was lost adrift at sea in the North Atlantic 40 years ago. Lost his fingers, half of his thumbs, most of his toes, part of his heel. And then he actually sailed twice across the Atlantic after that on his lonesome. So
He was
crazy story.
diehard.
Yeah, I'm doing part 4 in that. I was actually at Cape Ann Museum today, learning a little bit more and looking through some archival stuff and crazy stuff. So yeah, thanks for following for that. Jilly and I were really lucky to grow up in this area. I mean, it is. It's beautiful. We are two of the lucky ones, folks. We make no bones about it here.
And we both are Italian and can tell endless stories about fiesta shenanigans, fiesta traditions, and just what it's like growing up on the island, right?
Yeah, Jill, St. Joseph's Day is coming up, March 19th. Yeah. Do you do anything for it?
I don't. So when I was younger, my grandmother is the Catholic side of the house, shall we say. I know she did the novenas and stuff. She never brought me to any of them. And I don't like St. Joseph Bison. I don't like it at all.
So we should say, St. Joseph's is the Italian holiday. Is 2 days after St. Patrick's Day. Bista is pasta. St. Joseph's pasta is made with like chickpeas and cauliflower. It's almost like a junk soup kind of thing. Like you have to, and it's handmade pasta. Yeah, and anise, and a fennel sometimes, or be in the
fennel, and there's the traditions too of like whoever walks in the house first gets the first. That Virgilio's makes all the crossbreads and
and then you have so you have you'll see the Easter cookies with the crosses on them with the eggs too. But we do that with breads, crosses and breads, and then you leave lemons and oranges out on altars in your homes. It's crazy.
And they sing and pray for, what is it, like 10 days or something?
It's a 9-day novena.
Yeah. So those Easter cookies, I actually make, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah, nice. Bring some next week. Did you like that? Did you like that, Jill?
It's funny because I always joke about my Italian heritage and how I only know how to do a couple things. S cookies, which is the same recipe for the egg baskets. And I do not make sauce and meatballs, but I didn't make cookies this year because I just was recovering from my surgery. So I had to tell everyone in advance, I'm like, no cookies this year. But maybe, Corey, if I feel so inclined, I'll make you some Easter basket cookies for when I'm there in person.
Yeah, you have enough going on, Jill. Don't worry about it. Plus, God,
you don't
Jill, if you know my mom at all, my mom bakes like crazy around the clock. So I can hit her up for some Italian cookies or something that we can have.
Oh, and I don't want you to have to choose between me and your mother who makes them better. That's always can get a little too.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Jeez. So just hit me. So I actually have an event. I have Left, Right, Center on St. Patty's night, March 17th, that Friday night, and then Sunday of St. Joseph. So now last time I visited my mom's house, so the Italians, they hand make the pasta, right? And they dry it out in the house. So it's we have plastic over all the furniture, and there's just strands of homemade spaghetti all over the house right now. So that's how it is. There you go. Oh, Mary B. I'm also Sicilian, so we have that in common. And I totally relate to the food that you talk about. Yeah. So that's St. Joseph's Bista we're talking about. Crazy.
Yeah. I don't like it. It's an acquired taste, I swear. I just never acquired it.
It is, yeah. Some people adore it, but a lot of people have a hard time with it. So I can do it. Okay, how about this one from Gigi by the Sea? Jill, do readers, psychics find it difficult to read for themselves? I read easily for others, but harder for myself, and I never remember what comes through for others. Is this common?
It is very, very common. So it's like a two-parter. So I, a lot of times, don't remember my readings that I give to people. Sometimes something will stick out, but typically, like, I don't remember. If I talk to someone, they might trigger the memory, but it's kind of like, if you think of it, I'm like a vessel in a way, kind of just having the message come through. So I don't always remember. Now, when it comes to pulling cards for myself, I can. That's what I did with my first year of learning how to read cards. I was pulling for myself. I was working on myself. And I will say though, today, when I know I have something I want some guidance on, I'm not impartial for certain things. So I will hit up my friends. Like just recently, Deb and Carrie, I had something going on. I'm like, hey, you guys, if you get a second, could you just pull a card for me? Because I just know I'm too biased. So I just know when it's something I'm not going to be able to, because there is bias. You can influence. Like if I want the cards to say, yes, this is going to happen. And, you can skew it when you're reading for yourself. That's why reading for other people, we're not biased for the most part. Like we're not, we don't, you don't know the person that you're reading on. So you don't already have that in you. But when it comes to yourself, sometimes it is better, especially if it's a situation that you're struggling with, to not pull for yourself. But you can, it just takes a lot of, and you have to, if you're going to pull for yourself, you just got to be ready for the answer, because it might not be what you want. And that's what's hard. That's what's hard about first readers, to do it for ourselves.
Meanwhile, here at Bridge headquarters, we have this going on.
What's going on, Bubba?
He's been trying to make his bed for 5 minutes here. He's horrible. Is he ripping? Did you rip your blanket?
Oh, Corey, do you need to help him out? Did you rip his blanket?
What are you doing? Are you gonna go lay down? Yeah, not yet. Not yet. It's too early on the show. Go back to your bed. Oh boy, yes. You
don't help him out, Corey. You don't help a dog out with making his
awful.
bed.
He does that circle thing over and over and over again. Then he tries to ball up the blankets to make a bed for himself, and it never goes well. So back with more from Bubba in a bit. So Val from Southwest Pennsylvania is asking if either of us eat the salty fish on Christmas Eve.
Nope.
Me neither. My mom loves that stuff. And I know Portuguese call it bacalhau. It's like a salted cod or something. A lot of times, obviously, there's a feast of the 7 fishes and all that. But there's also people do an octopus salad on holiday.
My family does the octopus salad. And I can tell you, every year my grandmother, Jill, the octopus. I'm like, no. And my family still makes it. They still make it, even though she's been gone for many years. They still do it. I still don't partake.
Yeah. People love that too. I do those videos at the Azorian all the time. Portuguese restaurant, obviously the Azores, and very close to the Italian culture. But they adore octopus. They have a million dishes with octopus. So polvo.
They do. I am a bad Italian coming from a fishing family. I don't really love fish. I like shrimp and like scallops and lobster and clams, but I don't really like fish. It's really bad. Bad fisherman's granddaughter.
What are you doing, Jill? Actually, it's weird. Most of my fisherman friends actually don't eat seafood. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, when we were younger, it was like a staple in a way, but also I remember this, I never thought this would ever happen. My mom, her third husband was a lobsterman. And there was one summer I was like, I can't eat any more lobster. And I think that's the only time I ever said that in my life. Because I'm not a big lobster.
I'm not a big lobster person. Too much work. Yeah. If it's
in
a casserole or something. Yeah, I know.
Buy it pre-cooked. That's what I do. I admit to my laziness.
Yeah, scallops I can do. I can do scallops every day. Lobster, I'd give that. I'd give mine to you.
Scallops wrapped in bacon is a winner. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that's unbelievable. Darlin42 is asking us to please share our cookie recipes. I'll tell you what, Darlin, I think what's going to happen when we have announced this yet, even to who I'm about to mention. But when we have the new studio, I believe I'm going to try to get my mom to be a sort of a regular contributor, because she's a certified baker and a cook, and she cooks. I mean, you name it, she can do it, and she can do vegan, vegetarian, non, all that stuff, and she's really good. So I think we could make that a regular part of the shows too, moving forward. So, and then we'll be able to have recipe cards or something like that for folks. So there is that. Okay, people are enjoying the live chat tonight. It's flying. Yeah, Damon, we actually call lobsters mud bugs back here because they just live in the mud and eat what's in the mud.
They're just like bottom feeded garbage. Like people think we're crazy when we say we like lobster, because they're bottom feed the junk off the ocean, right?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, you know.
Yeah. They eat all the junk. So Daryl Andrews, great show. Corey, thanks for being part of it, Daryl. We appreciate it. Yeah, we have lots of comments. We're all over the place tonight. Wendy J, love the conversation. We love having you here with us. We appreciate all your eyes and ears tonight. It means a lot. So thank you, thank you, thank you. She is Jill Dillaberti. You know her as Jilly Beans. She's doing full moon readings for all of us tonight. So we're super appreciative of that. How about this question from Pixie Dust? Has Jill ever walked into a time portal?
Ooh, now I will say I believe in portals, but I have not walked through one myself, unfortunately. So there was, I wish the video was still there, because I would totally get the link shared to a video that someone I know did about portals that was fascinating, because there are like portals, ley lines, there's other like weird natural occurrences that they all, like Stonehenge, they all believe that there is a deeper meaning. There is theories that the Bermuda Triangle is actually a portal, and that is why ships and planes would get lost there. Now on the skeptic side, they will say Bermuda Triangle, the reason why ships and planes got lost, because of, if you think of the time and era and their equipment, and it wasn't as advanced and all that stuff. So they will try to debunk it. But I totally believe in portals. I definitely think they exist. There's I think 7 that have been identified. I could be wrong. There's supposedly a portal that's been discovered that goes to hell. It's called Hell's Hole or something to that effect. I wouldn't go near that one. Just saying that I would not recommend that. But I do believe they exist. I do believe there's a lot about this universe and the makeup of the energy of the earth that we just don't know. We're just, I do think there's a lot of stuff we just haven't figured out yet. And maybe, like I said before, we're not supposed to. But I do believe in portals. I just don't think I've walked through one. If I ever find one in Gloucester, I'll let you know. We'll go for a walk. How about that?
Yeah, I'm in for that. Good. Pixie Dust. It's a long story. Me and my best friend walked into one in an area of the forest at Versailles.
Ooh, there you go. There you go. Love that.
Interesting. Good. Okay. Moving on. We're almost at the top of the hour. We can sneak a question in before that. I was going to wait for her to show up tonight, but we can get this out of the way. Actually, let's go with this one. Jill, what's your view on ley lines?
So ley lines they kind of like portals in a way where I know a little bit, not a ton, but it's kind of like certain natural structures supposedly are laid out in a very in a way that was done on purpose, because they connect to mean something. Like you can't always maybe see it, I think, at like eye level. It's more above. You'll see that it connects to make a symbol or a something. So I don't discount it. Like there's so many natural phenomenons that we don't have explanation for, that they could hold a meaning. I just think it's just hard. Everyone has their take on it. Like, what does it mean? I kind of feel like they fall into the realm of portals. Like maybe they mean something. Like if you cross that ley line, you're going to get into a different dimension, but maybe you need to be us, have ascended to get to that dimension. Like there's so many unknown things. But you know what? I do need to say, Dad, this just came to me. Fairy circles are definitely real. Don't ever break up a fairy circle. You do not want the wrath of the elementals coming at you. Normally, you will see them like with mushrooms and stuff. There's a lot of them like Ireland and Scotland and stuff. But if you were to step into a fairy circle, you are definitely going to be into a different dimension. And be very cautious. Like fairies are wonderful, but you don't want to piss them off. And I do believe in them. I do believe they're real. They like to play tricks on us. They like to hide our shit. I can attest to that. Yeah.
All right, folks, we are at the top of the hour here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You are watching Full Moon Readings with Jill Diliberti. We know her as Jilly Beans here on the channel. This is our first full feature-length show with us, answering questions in real time. So we're very appreciative of that. Quickly, just going over a few things. Next week, our schedule is a little different. I'm going to be on live Monday evening, I believe, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time to take Q&A for 2 shows next week. Tuesday night at 8 p.m. is the debut of Celtic Tarot Sheila with me in a one-on-one setting. So that's next Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll probably come on a little early for that. And then Wednesday, making her bridge debut, is Deborah Lupien, the voice of the Akashic Records. That'll be 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday. In 2 weeks' time, Jill and I are going to be back here side by side to answer more of your questions and to also have a live drawing where you could win a free 1-hour reading with Jilly Beans. So if you haven't subscribed to become a Bridge Buddy, you can do that. Anna Lee will have the link for you. It's just $2 a month. There's no long-term commitment, no attached fees. We don't do anything with your data, anything like that. It's just to get in for these random drawings that help us support local businesses and our newfound friends here in the Bridge Cape Ann community. So there is that. So thanks again, Jill, for being with us as we move along. It's only 90 minutes in already, Jill. How you doing?
I'm good. It's funny how fast it goes by. So I think like what's good is if the way to do the long marathon, especially not near each other, is like having me pull cards in between the conversations because it gives me a break.
Oh yeah.
So that definitely helps, I think, when it comes to this, like, do a bunch and then people can ask me other questions. It just kind of gives me a chance to reset.
Sure. You always can. We'll just touch upon a couple of things here. PC jokes. Corey, your mom is a cook and all you eat is Peeps. So now here's the deal. I actually am not a big Peeps person at all. Annette is the Peeps person, but people started sending them to us. So we have Peeps all the time, including I still have from Anna Lee Fruit Punch Peeps sitting here. She sent us enough. So I still have those with us too. But the Cadbury eggs thing people mentioned too, I do love those as well. Now would be the perfect time to mention that P.O. Box 5432. Oh, Jill.
I didn't unwrap it, Corey. I'm not that cruel.
Looks delicious. Save that for 2 weeks from now, will you?
Are you kidding? I'm eating it tonight. I'll bring fresh
with
ones.
Okay, to reset the table, Ann Steer has joined us late, and she just asked, Jill, what is the main purpose of this full moon? Again, just to reiterate.
The main purpose is to, in a nutshell, get rid of what doesn't serve you, that's no longer in your highest and best patterns, behaviors, relationships, clothes, detox, anything that does not serve you, and change and bring in the stuff that does. And the whole theme of the month is change, shifting, and just even whether it's your outlook or your hair color, just change. We're going to make good changes.
Your hair
positive
color?
Ones. Yeah, I was actually thinking about putting something different in my hair, but I don't think I know you got a great, well, actually I was thinking of a red, but not your red. But I think I'm not at the moment, just because, side note, when I was sick, I started to lose my hair. And it's coming back, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't destroy with chemicals since it's finally healthy again. So I think I just need a cut. True. But yeah, I think like if you just want to make a change to make yourself feel good, go for it.
There you have it. A nicey. How about this question from Rose Banduhano? Jill, can people step into different dimensions?
I believe they can. There is testimonies out there of people stepping into a different dimension. That's where like stepping into a fairy circle, that is where you could end up in another dimension. There is like supposedly this now I guys said I always take things with a grain of salt, like use your own discernment, do your own research, and take what makes sense. So supposedly there's like 10 dimensions, and there's CERN has figured out a way to get to the fifth dimension. What does it look like? I don't know. I know people astro playing, like they in their sleep they travel to different dimensions. I don't think I have. um I don't, if I have I don't remember, but I know people that have. So I do know it's real. And when I say I know people that have, it's people that I'm close to, that I know a lot about them, and they wouldn't just make something like that up, right? So that's why I say, like, I know people that have done has astral plane projected, which I think is great. I just I don't know, I just haven't gone there yet. And I don't know
Yeah.
how to do, and I don't know what you're supposed, like I'm like, what do I do to get there? Maybe I'm not supposed to.
Hmm. Yeah, Damon's on the chat tonight, and he brings up astral projection. I believe he has done it before, more than
Yeah,
once.
yeah, I did see his comment from last week. So yeah, I do believe it's real. I just don't think I've been able to experience it yet.
Hmm. There you go. Thank you. Okay, how about here's a question from, now she's not with us yet, but this is from Yoon Chan
Oh,
Ung, who asked last night. Can Jill confirm that a full moon is to let go of things that are not in our highest good? And maybe that means
yes.
highest interest. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Full moons are a great time to release anything highest and good, highest and best. However you want to say, yes. Fantastic time to do it. And you just want to just give that crap away to the universe. You kind of like, you give it to the stars, you give it to the moon to take it away, take that burden off of you. It is a fantastic time to release it. Absolutely.
Hmm. All right, Jill, are you ready for this question? This is again from,
Mhm.
hold on, we'll get Ann Steers is following up now. Okay, thank you. I've been making changes in my life, and I've seen people around me make huge changes. Okay, so there's that. Ann, congratulations on that. Val from Southwest Pennsylvania is back again and asked Jilly, here we go, Jill. What do you think of NDE?
Near death experience.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we could have a whole show about
Yeah,
near
Val,
death
she might have missed your
experience.
debut, but yeah.
That's okay. So I had a near death experience. Funny enough, it'll be a year ago this month, Corey.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And yes, Deb, my good friends Deb and Carrie did so much healing on me when I was sick. And I truly believe from the bottom of my heart, between the healing my friends were sending me, and I got put into prayer circles along with traditional, that is what got me to be here today. If it was not for them, I would not have survived.
Yeah, I remember you
So
were
I
in rough
do,
shape for a while. It was like touch and go. We were paying
it
attention.
was.
Yeah.
It was like 4 days. So the near death experience is yes. But do we have time to unpack all of that tonight? No, but we can if you'd like to. I'm more than happy. So on my Soul Connections page on Facebook, I have a video that talks about me being sick. And there is a YouTube channel that I can send Corey that we can maybe put the link in, like, to the video afterwards, where I was on another friend's channel talking about my near death experience,
Okay.
because it was something I was struggling with. And my friend had one too. She's like, do you want to get on YouTube and talk about it? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So we did. So, yeah, near death experiences are real. I do believe they're different for everyone. They're not, oh, let's, like, you see the light, don't walk into the light. They're not always pleasant. Shall I say, was it, it was, mine was definitely, it was more like, a battle was going on for my will to live. And I didn't want, apparently I didn't want to, I was giving up, but thank God for my loved ones and the people alive and on the other side that wouldn't let me go. They weren't going to let me have my way. But yeah, we can definitely talk. We can talk more about that another time, but they're real. They really do happen. And they do change you.
Maybe we'll do a themed show sometime on that. Because
I'd
people in the
love to
chat
hear
have
other
mentioned that they've had NDE as well.
Yeah, I'd love to hear other people's experiences. Luckily, I knew someone really well who had one. And some of the stuff that he told me was so like beneficial with things I experienced, because he had experienced the same thing. So I'm glad I knew a little bit about them, but I think everyone's is a little unique in some way.
True. Anna Lee, I was close to dying 13 years ago. He wasn't ready for me yet. So we're glad you're with us, of course, Anna Lee.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a phone conversation with Anna Lee a couple weeks ago. I heard her voice.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
I was trying to get her to come on to Bridge Buddy Roulette, but she's not ready for that. So, but Anna Lee, we always appreciate you with us. I had to tease her a little bit there.
Here. We appreciate the moderation, right? And the
Oh, absolutely. Oh, we need it.
So is there anyone, why don't we do a card and then we
Okay.
can go back to some more personal, if people have questions for me.
Yeah, for what Wendy Jay says, I want to be Jilly's friend. Love her energy.
Oh, thank you. We can be friends.
Good. Hold on, let me see you too. Okay, hello. Good. Okay, so you're drawing a card, Jill?
Yeah, did people ask for cards last night?
No, it was all questions last night. Not for a draw. No, not specifically.
So if there's anyone in the chat that wants a card, because I think that would just be good energy flow. Like I can pull a card or two for someone, then we can go back to more questions.
Oh, we're cleansing the palette, so to speak.
Yeah, it's kind of like, doing as many as I did back to back. I can do that, but I think my energy level and my connection lasts longer if it's kind of sprinkled in, like we can do a couple, talk more, and if nobody, there's no pressure, you don't have to have a card pulled, we can just keep talking. I mean, I think Corey and I could probably talk till midnight.
So Eileen is asking for a card.
Oh, okay.
Eileen Robichaud or Robichaud, but I say Robichaud.
Did I pull a card for Eileen last week?
Wendy J would also like a card. Everyone's going to want a card. Put it this way, everyone wants a card.
So we'll do Eileen and Wendy, and then we can go back to the other questions that people have for just me in general. So this is for Eileen. I don't want them all to fall out. So for Eileen, is Yoon here? Did I see the bell?
Not yet. No Yoon yet.
So funny enough, for the full moon, it's like I'm just getting one card instead of like multiples falling out. So for you, Eileen, I am getting adjustments are required, third quarter moon. I can already feel the theme that's coming tonight. Again, this card has lots of purple in it. Purple is healing. When you look at the moon, it's like half in the dark, half in the light. So adjustments are required for you to come out of the dark, come into the light. It's just that change. There's changes in your life that you need to make that are in your best interest, because I'm getting that you're letting just things slide, shall we say. Things are wrong. You're not doing anything right now to change them. And this card is telling you it's time to make those changes. And that, the healing will come with it. Change is always hard. I never want to discount that. Change is hard and it can suck, but there's time for change. It will bring healing. So if there's been something in your life that you've been avoiding or putting off, the card in the full moon is saying, okay, it's time to do it. Sorry. I hope that helps. Makes sense.
Hope so too. Now, was that one card for two people, Jill?
Nope, that was just for Eileen. So then I'll do Wendy.
Okay. We now have 50 requests for cards.
Sorry. Well,
You
I
asked.
just,
You asked for it.
I did ask for it. I did ask for it.
And folks, we should say, if you would like to win a 1-hour reading with Jill, where anything goes, folks, you can become a Bridge Buddy by subscribing to Bridge Cape Ann. It's just $2 a month. Annalie has that link for you. And we're going to have a drawing with Jill side by side live in 2 weeks' time.
And we should just say, like, these are just quick messages, like surface level. If you want the more in-depth, thorough readings, that's when we do the one-on-ones. Just because this is a public platform, internet's forever. I would never disclose too personal details about anyone. So that's why these are quick messages. Just figured I'd say that before I forget. And this is for Wendy. Oh, look at that. We're back. 3 cards.
Oh, all right.
So for you, Wendy, your first card is look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius.
Oh, look at this.
I know, right?
I'm nailing it tonight.
You are totally nailing it, Corey. My God. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. And your last card, prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. So what does this all mean, right? So let's remember that full moons are the end. New moons are beginning. And so when I see the Sagittarius, like the arrow is in the middle of the moon, this is encouraging you to look outside yourself, look at the bigger picture. Oh, is she here?
We have Yoon is in the building.
Yoon, I got out my singing bowl for you since I think mine registers. I apologize, Wendy.
Good morning. Good morning, Singapore.
So we want to look at the bigger picture and the arrow shooting upwards. So it's like onwards and upwards. This is what this card is saying. Like, and so for this full moon, you're gonna look at things in a bigger way and shoot yourself forward. Sagittarius is a big energy because it's ruled by Jupiter, which is the planet of abundance, makes everything bigger. The next one is new moon, Scorpio, working through your fears. So Scorpios, see that little stinger? You're afraid of getting stung. You need to work through your fears. The card is purple, so you're going to be fine. If it's something that scares you, you're supposed to do it because the scariest things in life are where we're supposed to go. So looking big picture, see what scares you, and I want you to lean into that. That Scorpion's not going to get you. And then the end is prosperity lies ahead. So all your hard work is going to have a reward. There's going to be prosperity. There is going, if you look, you see the stag and stuff, strong and sturdy and grounded. So everything you want to do in life, whatever it is that you've been struggling with, this is the time right now for you to look at the situation from a bigger stance, like not so granular. Lean into that. It's going to be worth it. You're going to get the payoff that you're looking for. Hope that helps.
All right, Jill, how do we want to play this out now? Because we have a million card requests.
Okay.
A smattering of questions still, but it's going to end up being heavily on cards, I believe. But we do have more questions for you if you'd like.
So let's do a question. Because Yoon's here. We just rang a bell. So let's just do a question. And Yoon, we did answer your question.
Yeah. Okay. How about this question? Does the supermoon on July 3rd, August 1st, etc., affect people more than a normal full moon?
So the answer is yes, it can, because a full moon is when, like, the moon is the closest to the earth in its orbit. And, the full moons, like, it is proven it affects the tides, like the high tides and stuff like that. And us as humans, we're made up mostly of water, right? So if you think of it in those terms, if it's a super moon, that is so close to the earth. So like the gravity and everything that comes along with it, it does affect us more when it's a super one, because the energy is so close, and the moon dictates our tides, and we're made up of water too. So to me, yeah, it does. Hope that helps.
And there you have it. Here's another question for you. Jill, NASA has stated that the moon has shifted again, which may cause more flooding, possible earthquake activity. Do you think this affects people sensitive to vertigo or migraines, things of that nature?
Well, I did not know NASA had released that the moon had shifted again. So with that being said, because I didn't even know that, I do believe though the moon phases can affect, like I said earlier, I had a headache when I woke up this morning, and changes in the atmosphere in general can cause vertigo, because unfortunately I've had vertigo a couple times and it's not fun.
Oh man.
And actually, funny enough, I had it in January one year, then the next year, almost a year to the date. And I swear it has something to do with the weather changes. So I guess based off that, I could say yes, but I got to be honest, I didn't know NASA said that. So,
it is weird. You know what stands out to me? The only time I ever had a little bout of vertigo was right after St. Joseph's Day, like 4 years ago. It stood out because I never experienced before. It's brutal.
It is brutal. Now, I had vertigo once that it was in the springtime, and I remember all I did was turn my eyes to look at my clock, and everything just started spinning, and it's the worst feeling in the world. And then I had it a couple of years ago, 2 Januaries in a row, and I get migraines with them. After the spinning stops a little bit, I end up with bad migraines. Yeah, struggle's real.
All right, another question.
Sure.
This
and then
comes
we'll do some more cards.
Sure. From Anna Macedo. Metaphysically speaking, Jill, does the past, present, and future exist at the same time in a parallel universe?
Possibly. So that's where you get into like multiple timelines, like 20 different me's in different timelines doing different things, and I'm different in all those timelines. There's a timeline where I can't stand Corey. There's a timeline where I never met Corey. I know I'm not this one, Corey. Relax. You just
is there a timeline where I have the Cadbury egg and you don't?
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to get there. I'd like to get there again.
Yeah. Yep, you're there. So I do believe that there could be different dimensions, but how would we ever consciously know that? I think is the question, right? How could we know that? What would you do if you walked into yourself in another dimension? There's doppelgangers, like they always say, everyone has a twin, right?
How lucky can this world be?
Seriously, right? I don't know if the world could handle more than one of me. I don't know. They probably could. But like that's my thought. Like if I ran into me in another dimension and they would look like me, talk like me, but was so different, I don't know how I would feel. But I do know that it's been proven, like we all have a twin, that someone else looks just like us on the other side of the world that we've never met, right? That's been proven before. So yeah, I do think it's all possible. I just think it's, how would we ever prove that? Because if we could, that'd be great, because I would love to see what I'm doing in my other timelines. Maybe I'll switch places. You never know. I just I don't discount anything unless it's so like Corey said, your BS meter. When my BS meter goes off, I'm like, yeah, that's like totally out of left field. But a lot of stuff, I'm like, yeah, I can't say that I can't see that happening. You never know.
Getting lots of comments on migraines and vertigo. Dorothy Lynn, weather changes can trigger migraines for me. Val, vertigo is awful ×3 for me. Christian, barometric pressure drops can hurt my head and shoulders, a lot of soreness. Interesting. Sandra Spidel, if there is time, I heard there's a huge portal opening on March 22nd. Does Jilly get a feeling on that?
Where is CERN saying this? I think he saw something come through on a social media about that. I will be honest, CERN scares me a little. And when I say it scares me a little, there's something in my gut that there's something that doesn't feel right. I know they make it look like they're trying to do good in this world, improve all this stuff and advance us and all this stuff. But I just feel like with CERN, there's something not right. There's something a little bit off. If they were to open a portal, I got to be honest, I don't think they would tell us. They wouldn't want us to know because, oh my God, my head's tingling. Because they would want to be able to take whatever information that they're getting to use it against mankind. I really don't feel like, once again, this is just my personal opinion. Like, you feel free to disagree with me. I just feel like CERN, maybe has some good intentions, but I just don't get a good feeling with them, to be honest. And if they're opening up something, I personally wouldn't go near it, to be honest.
There you have it. Okay, Jill, how about a couple more cards?
Sure.
I mean, at this point, we're almost, we can pick almost any name in the chat, to be honest with you.
So, Corey, go with your gut. Trust your instincts. Who needs it the most? Because I can't see the chat. One
name that jumped up because she doesn't usually comment often was Nancy Jones. I saw that in there.
Okay.
Who else did I see that it asked?
Well, you contemplate. I'm going to shuffle. How does that sound for Nancy?
Okay. Oh, and I have Bubs. What do I need to do with you? You need something? All right.
He needs you to make his bed, Corey.
Yeah, why don't you do the read and I'll come back with something for this guy.
So Christian's name just caught my eye in the chat. So Christian, I'm gonna just pull for you next. And please, everyone in the chat, just know, I typically can't see it. Christian just kind of caught my eye, but this is for Nancy. Christian, we'll get back to you. So for Nancy, surrender to the divine, full moon. Again, it's all purple. So, and it's full moon, right? I feel like a lot of the people are going to hear a lot of the same thing. Surrender to the divine. So Nancy, anything that is weighing on you, because I feel like you're asking for a question, because you're asking for a card because there's a question in your head that you're hoping to get guidance on. And the guidance is turn it over to the universe. It's a full moon. So it's a great time to release this card. I love when everything's purple and white, because that means purple to me means healing, and anything white or iridescent is spirit, healing energy, protection. And this card is just guiding you. Give it to us. We're going to help you heal and move forward. And, sometimes we just need to surrender, and the divine is there to take it all for us. And I think if you were to do that, to just be like, I'm just going to give this up to the universe, you're going to feel a weight being lifted. I hope that helps.
So Jill, people are asking how they can contact you if they're not on Facebook.
So you can there's my email address. I don't know if you know people personally. So I don't mean to be a pain. So if they want, know how they can email you at like the Hello Bridge. Mm-hmm. If they email you, you can share my email address with them. Okay. And they can contact me that way. I don't want to.
Jill, you can always also make a quick Gmail address specific to.
I have 4 already, Corey. So that's why. The one that I do actually have one that's associated to on my Facebook page. There is a specific Gmail associated to that. So, but if they're really, if they're already signed up for the Bridge newsletter and stuff, I trust with you, sharing my email address. I just don't know if I want it in the chat tonight. I feel kind of better if it's someone that is already around a lot. And that's just my own personal crap from just things that have happened to me in the past on the internet. So I have a little bit of, I like to have that vetting of Corey knows you, right? So, or Italy knows you, or somebody already knows you. So I'm more than happy to share my details. Granted, like I'm on Facebook, right? I'm clearly not too concerned, but I understand why people are not on Facebook and other social media platforms.
There you have it. Okay. So we did get a suggestion about maybe pulling a card for our wrenches since they do so much for the channel.
I could pull if they want one though. That's the thing. Like I know Christian does. Does Thankful and Anna Lee want a card?
Thankful, I know Thankful does. I saw that. Yeah.
So I just would want all of them to be like okay with it.
Thankful is you're getting a little stuttery right now, Jill.
Oh no.
That's okay.
Internet.
No, it's better. You're better now.
Okay.
Okay, so you can start with Thankful.
Okay.
AKA and Justin's mom, AKA Thankful Mom.
Oh, I remember seeing Justin's mom in the chat all the time.
This is
and
her.
I actually know her better as Justin's mom, and I know that Christian wanted one. Okay. So we're gonna start with Thankful, aka Justin's mom. Did we ever meet Justin?
By the way, we're asking the folks in chat tonight what Bubba's snack should be, and sweet potato over carrot by a landslide so far.
So just your go jumper. Sorry. Just your name, Thankful, just says so much about you in a good way. A fiery climax approaches full moon in Aries. So for you, Thankful, a full moon's like always going to be an ending. So Aries is a fire sign, which can mean explosive. Yeah, it's not about you right now, but I know you're fired just like me. I'm surprised you don't get a fire going right now, Corey.
Well, yeah, our birth dates are close, right?
No, I'm December.
Oh, you are? Oh, why did I think you were April?
I'm December. I'm way younger than you. Just saying. Anyways, so back to Justin's mom. So when I see this, like the bull is already in the full moon, right? So there's going to be, so if there's it's kind of hard to pinpoint about what the situation is, but a fiery climax doesn't mean bad. I think that's what you need to know right now. Something can be explosive, but that doesn't mean that it has to be bad or negative. And I just feel like what I need to tell you right now is stay strong, because I don't know if you're a fire sign, if that's your, sun or rising sign, but you need to stand in your power, because it's going to get a little bit explosive, meaning a lot of energy, a lot of opinions, a lot of 2 cents. That's what I'm hearing that's going to be being brought to you. But stay steadfast in what you believe. It's all going to come to this fantastical end, but it's not bad. I don't feel like it's bad. It's just, I keep hearing it just might be a little dramatic. If that, and that's how I'm hearing in my head. It's going to be dramatic, but that's okay. I hope that helps.
Good. Love it.
So we'll do Christian.
You want to roll into that, or we do have a special guest here in the studio.
Oh, we do. Who's the special guest?
He has 4 legs and he can smell the vegetables.
Oh God.
All right, so let's get this out of the way just so we can get on to Christian's card.
I'm just gonna stop the one.
All right, so let me see how I can do this. All right, folks. So the winner by a landslide with 91%, sweet potato. Last night it was carrot by a landslide. I was surprised. Carrot over a white potato. But now this is a sweet potato. I'll move the microphone so folks can get a good look at this guy. Bubs. Bub should have his own channel. Let's do this. I know, dude. All right. All right. All right, here's Bub's. Here's the potato. It's a good one. Right, kid? Easy. You be a good boy with this now. That's a good boy. All right. There we go. So we'll see where this ends up. He's going to tackle that for a little bit.
Keep him busy, right?
It's hard as a rock, too, but he likes that.
It's good for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for Christian, I got for you, it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. Now, like Scorpios, like this, like I will say, Scorpio gets like the short end of the stick when it comes to the zodiac signs. People see Scorpios and they're like, oh my God, it's like the dark place of the zodiacs. It's really not. An evolved Scorpio energy is fantastic. They are your best friend. So never be afraid of that. And I think the reason why I'm saying this to you is, I don't know if there's someone around you that's a Scorpio, but see how, so on these cards, like when it's a full moon, because we're ending a cycle, the sign is going to be inside the moon. If it's a new moon and it's new, it will be beneath it. So there's something prickly that's been going on for you, Christian. And, you know, this card is telling you to let that go. And I'm feeling like, because you're not, see, and this is what's hard, because like, I know you're not a negative person. I have had conversations with you, whether being on live streams, but there's someone that's been pinching at you just enough with these little pinches. They're not using the stinger to like really poke you, but they've just been pinching. And this card is just telling you to let them go. I'm hearing like, don't sweat the small stuff. Like this little person that likes to poke at you, if you keep letting it own, like have space in your head or own time or energy, it's just going to grow. So it's time to like kind of nip it in the bud, let go of the negativity, and you're going to kind of diffuse whatever that is. But, and you know, once again, it's purple, so it's very healing. So I just, there's like someone around you that's just been nitpicking at you. Just don't pay them any mind. Oh, I actually caught the comment. Awesome, Christian. I'm so glad that makes sense. That is so helpful. Ooh,
so that was an actual dream scenario for Christian, because he got a reading as Bubba plowed through a potato.
We're making all of Christian's dreams come true.
Can you imagine that? What that's like? It was like a make a wish right there. Beautiful stuff.
Did Annalise say she wanted a card? I don't know.
I don't know. I saw thankful. I don't know if Annalie, let us know if you want a reading. In the meantime, you want to hop on to another question here, Jill?
Sure. Let's do a question and then we'll pull some more cards. Corey, I might end up being this egg. I'm so sorry. I might end up being the cream egg.
Well, hey, you need energy up. How about this one? And what about solar eclipses, Jill? Do they affect us psychically?
Solar eclipses can. There was
lunar eclipses, sorry, or lunar eclipses.
Any eclipse. So anytime there's like a natural phenomenon, like an eclipse, even though we kind of know when it's eclipse season, I remember last year, the eclipse season definitely affected me greatly. So it can, like, it's always about how sensitive you are to things going around you. Like some people could probably go through eclipse season and never know anything about it, right? It's not going to affect them. Other people, if you're very in tune, it is definitely going to. Scorpio. So I would say yes, the eclipses can affect us. good and bad. It all depends on where the eclipse is happening, what's the sign, what's like where the planets, and to be able to say, what every time there's an eclipse in this sign in this house means, we would be here forever. And I'd have to like get my books out. There's so much with that. But yeah, eclipses definitely lunar, anything. I think anything that happens in our universe around us affects us. And if you are someone who is sensitive or has psychic abilities or do anything, you're always going to feel it a little bit more than other people because you're open to it. So that's, I think, where that sensitivity comes in, is because people like me, I'm already open to things, and I have to remember to like shut that down sometimes because I don't want to take on all the energy. So yeah, I think that's my long and short answer.
Beautiful. Okay, couple more cards.
Sure.
All right. So Annalie did say yes.
Okay, so for all that she does for you and sends to you, we should pull a card for Annalie.
Yeah. And if you're just tuning in, folks, or it just showed up late, this is Jill Diliberti, aka Jilly Beans, doing full moon readings for us tonight. And Bubba just destroyed a sweet potato in record time. And now the problem is I had a sweet potato and don't know, Bubba, he's on the keyboard. Don't do that. The problem is I had the sweet potato and a carrot on my desk, just in case, it was one or the other. And now he knows there's a carrot on my desk. He won't leave.
Well, you're in a situation, you might have to give him a carrot.
He's not going to have that. No, you've had enough. You're ready for bed.
So, Annalie, for you, once again, the theme has changed, healing and release. So you got the new moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. So again, we have our little pincher, right? So new moon's a new beginning. So I feel like this for you is there has been something holding you back from doing something. This is a time for change. This is great energy for taking those leaps, leaning into those fears, because I feel like you're afraid you're going to get pinched or burned, or it's like you're afraid to like take that next step because you're afraid of getting hurt, because maybe you've been hurt before when you've tried to do this. And this card is saying, work through it. You're good. Everything's purple. You're healed. I mean, there's healing, there's protection, and to not be afraid of getting stung. It's like, I'm hearing like, don't be afraid of getting pinched or stung. Work through the fear. It's almost like, I'm hearing it like, how you might be afraid to swim, right? In the old days, they would take us and dump us in the water. It's like, take the leap. That's what I'm hearing. Like, take the leap, knowing you're going to be able to swim. You're going to be okay. And once you overcome that fear, I just feel like things will move forward for you. Like, fear holds us back a lot. And this card is just encouraging you to let it all go. Give it to the universe. Let the full moon have the fear. I hope that helps.
Does this mean that we could see Annalie on camera at some point? I'm just throwing it out there, Annalie. I'm just throwing it out. If we're getting over fears, I'm just throwing that out there, having fun with it.
So, Annalie, maybe there is a gift that you are supposed to share with us and that you should come on.
Whoa.
I don't know.
I'm just teasing, Annalie.
I'm just going off what Corey says.
Yeah.
But we do so appreciate it, because I know that you keep him fully stocked in Cadbury eggs and Peeps and anything else that he needs.
This is true. She's always looking out for me, Annalie. Speaking of it, Sharon Bonhams is in the chat too. We love Sharon. Sharon, my God, half of the shows we were doing last summer, we were unboxing gifts from Sharon from Wisconsin. So we thank you so much. In fact, Sharon, just to note, I still have the very last bit of the honey that you sent. And I'm doing a voiceover for my history piece tomorrow morning. So I'll be having hot water with lemon and your honey to prepare my throat and my voice for the VO. So There you have it. Okay, you want to pull a card you want to pull another one, Jill?
Sure.
How about one for a salty chip?
Salty chip. Ooh, I like that. Are they salty?
Well, who knows?
Like
Who
the
knows?
ocean? So for salty chip, and when you have those avatars like that, it's interesting because I don't know if you're a male or a female, right? So let's see what comes up. Oh, Emily, I saw your comment. She's not going to pinch you. That's just what I'm feeling. And I'm sorry, it is hard. Family's hard. So for salty chip. So for you, salty, we got hold your vision, fixed moon. So salty, if there's something that you've been wanting to manifest, this card is saying, yes, please do it now, now, now. Someone misread. Oh my God, that's funny. So hold your vision. So it's a fixed moon. So stay focused. The moon is, it's not covered in the dark. It's just kind of in the sky, which is purple. So when it says hold your vision, it's like you're halfway there. Push through. It's not about coming out of like darkness. It's almost like you're pushing it forward because it's already lit up. You just need to get the rest of it out there. Hold tight to your vision. There could be bumps though. See the mountain ranges? So you could have some bumps in the roads. It could be challenges, but always hold your vision. Like when you're moving forward, that picture, that vision in your head, with what you want to do, don't lose sight of that, because when you have to go over these mountains, that's what's going to keep you going and keep the energy going. So that's what's important for you to know right now. That helps. Let me know if that makes sense.
Good. All right, what do you want to do here, Jill? You let me know.
So how many more like regular questions do you have?
Not many.
I will be back in 2 weeks, so we can do more questions when we're side by side.
Yeah, that's true too.
Unless there's a question that someone's asked like more than once, or you think it's like a hot topic that they want an answer, see if I can answer.
Nope, I wouldn't say that. I think the hottest thing is when people know that you'll do a card reading and if the queue lines up. So
all right. So why don't we, if there's no question that's standing out to you, why don't we just keep going with readings?
Okay, how about one for Benjamin Padilla?
Okay.
And folks, there really is no rhyme or reason. I try to keep up with most of the chat, and so I scroll and find names to see where the requests are. So I apologize if I gloss over some of the names. I don't mean to.
So for Benjamin, it's funny how with full moons, I don't have as many cards falling out. So for you, Benjamin, conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. So, I mean, it pretty much says what's happening, right? The conclusion, the end of a cycle, something is like just at your fingertips for something to end. And you know what? I feel like I'm going to look at the book for just 1 second. There's something with the eclipse that I feel is important, and I'm missing it right now. I will say with this deck, there's a lot of cards that I will see a lot of. Then every once in a while, I get one that I only have pulled maybe once or twice, and it will stump me a little bit. Hold on. this book too, for some reason, the way they break it up is not very, doesn't just go in order. So let me just look at this quickly. So, hmm. So there's been something go. So what this card is saying to you is what's meant for you will be. And it could be around like a difficult situation. And it's gonna feel like, so the feeling of this card, which I think is why the energy felt kind of weird to me, it's you're gonna get the feeling someone's just slamming a door in your face. And you're gonna be like, what was that all about? So this card is here to just remind you during this full moon, if someone shuts you out or cuts you off or like out of the blue, like it's not even something you're aware of, this card is just a gentle reminder that it's going to be okay. That maybe that person needs to be out of your life because, or situation, because this time is all about releasing things that don't serve us. And maybe the decision is going to be made for you, that that person or situation is going to be removed and it's not you making the choice. So if you do feel like you get kind of, hit like out of the blue, something happens and you feel like, where did that come from? Try to look at it as maybe that was the best thing that they could have ever done for me, because maybe you weren't ready to and they actually are the ones that did it, and it could be okay. That's where, so this is a good example of like something that could seem like a negative reading, but it's really not, because even though it might be a shock to your system, it's actually going to serve you better in the long run. It might be, it's not going to be fun. Like, let's face it, like stuff like that happens. It's not a nice feeling. But once you move past that, I think you're going to be very grateful that it happened. Let me know if this makes sense.
Nicey, nicey. Haven't heard from Benjamin yet. You want to move on to another name?
Sure.
Okay, how about Synchronicity 76?
Say that 3 times fast. Wow.
Yeah.
Synchronicity 76.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great name, though. Synchronicity is huge. Say, always be out for the look for synchronicities in your life, right? And I just feel like from your name, from your avatar, that you're already in sync. Like that's like just the energy I'm feeling around you. Like you're already kind of in tune to like what's going on in the world. I need to push my chair up. Sorry. For you, I got, it is time to release negativity, full moon of Scorpio. And remember, I picked the cards at random and I always, my dramatic shuffles, the messages that just keep coming through, time to release negativity. It's time to let it all go. Whatever you're holding on to, synchronicity. And again, like, I don't know if you're male or female, but we all, as much as we all want to be positive, even myself, we are humans, so we are flawed, right? So we can be negative. I can be negative. So if there's been something that's been bothering you, I feel like overall, like your general outlook is good, but this is one, like same kind of little bit for Christian, whatever negativity you're holding on to right now, it's just time to let it go. It's the best time. I think the overall theme for this month and even last week is all about change. The change within inside you. Changing negativity to a positive thought is really hard. It takes a conscious effort. And I feel like I'm telling you this because it might be something you struggle with or something that might not come easy. And this is just a reminder to do that, to when you catch yourself in that negative thought, to stop it and kind of flip it, or try to not give it power. And I just, and I know I'm like repeating myself now. The overall message is for us to change. We have to change the way we think. So it's time to let go of, like, we're not going to be perfect all the time, but those little, it's like, don't sweat the small stuff, right? Let's look bigger picture, bigger positivity. There could be a time when you'll hear me not always be positive. But just let go of negativity, let go of just, if it doesn't serve you, like if you, and you'll know this in your gut, this doesn't serve me, this thought or this feeling or this action, just let it go. Oh, working on it. Yes, it takes work. That's the hardest part. It takes work. It's hard to reprogram our brains.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
So Jilly, why don't we finish up with the card for all of us for March?
Holy crap, it's 9 o'clock already.
It's 9, yeah, and then we can go over the particulars and contact info and things like that again.
All right.
So
Wow,
in fact, so before you do that, why
Mhm.
don't I say thank you to everyone again for helping Jilly through this first week with us. Jill, you're awesome. We love spending time with you. If you want to find Jill and you're on Facebook, Soul Connections is where you can find Jill. I think I'm going to try to paste to see if I have it.
And honestly,
No, that's not
I'm
it.
on Facebook as Jill Delaberti. Like, that's my name.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to spell it for folks.
And on my personal page, you will see 2 very handsome boys. Those are my kids. That is my picture. And on my Soul Connections is an angel. So if we become friends, like, you just gotta just say, hey, I'm a bridge buddy, or I saw you in Corey's, I can then invite you to my Soul Connections page. That page is, so Facebook settings, whatever. It's searchable, meaning you can search for it and find it, but it's private to the members of the group. So I approve everyone in there, just so that everybody knows that. Like, that's why I keep it that way. So it's like people of like minds, like things. It's people that I know.
Oh, yes.
Thank you,
Synchronicity. Yeah. Synchronicity 76
you.
says tip the channel. So thank you for the answer, Jill.
Oh, awesome. Yes, I saw your request, Lisa. She joined my page, my Soul Connections page.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
You'll find that it's pretty bare bones, but if you scroll through, or go to where it says photos, you'll see the videos that I've uploaded. And there is one that I do talk about my near-death experience. It's like a 40-minute video. The quality is not great. It's kind of grainy, but you get to hear when I'm still in it. Like, I think I recorded that, and I'd only been home for about a couple weeks, 4 or 5 weeks from the hospital.
And don't forget, folks, if you want to win a free 1-hour reading with Jill, subscribe to become a Bridge Buddy. It's just $2. $2 American. That's all it is a month. And we're going to start having random drawings. Jill and I will be side by side 2 weeks from tonight. And we'll have that drawing for you in real time.
Yes, thank you to everyone tonight for coming. I can't really see the chat, but I'll get to watch it tomorrow.
Oh, it's a beautiful one. Yeah, we have to thank our wrenches, Thankful, Anna Lee, and Christian, as always, there for us from minute 1 to the very end. So we always appreciate it. And beautiful community once again tonight. Really loved the chat. It was great.
I don't know if my friends are still around, but Deb and Carrie too, thank you so much for coming tonight and supporting me and helping with questions and answers, because those 2 women, they know a lot.
Yeah.
So for our collective tonight here on the Bridge live stream, we got communication is key, new moon in Gemini, right? New beginning. So Corey, this kind of talks about your channel in a way, right? Hold on. Sorry, tickle my throat. So communication is key. So for our collective tonight, I think communication in the chat is important, just always keep in mind that things could be taken out of context when you write them. And I know that nobody's trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but just be mindful of that. I try to be mindful of that, like when I'm in a chat or doing a text message, because I, in my head, is saying it a certain way, but it doesn't come off. Communication is key. Corey, keeping everyone in the loop, because there's changes going with this channel. He has new people coming on. Just because there's changes, that does not mean that we're still going to see a net. We're still going to see other people that have been staples on this channel. It's just kind of evolving, and it's new beginnings for us. So Gemini 2 is like an air sign. So it's all about, so here we are talking. Air is all about communication. And it's a new beginning. I feel like it's a new beginning for all of us. I have now gotten a chance to know the chat in a way they're getting to know me. Corey and I have already known each other. So that's, that's old news. But I really feel like, so like in, Gemini, it's the twins. One person has their eyes closed. The other one has it open. So just remember to keep your eyes open. You don't want to turn your back on anyone. Always remember to communicate, and that I think this is the beginning of a lot of great things here. I really think so. Just the communication that Corey gives us, which he's so awesome about anyways. He keeping everyone in the loop, so who's going to be here. We're going to get to hear and experience different things. And, we're just always going to be kind to everyone, right? We're going to be kind to our guests and kind to our people in the chat and our wrenches and to everyone that comes here for the collective. Because I think there's really a great community here, and we just want to keep that growing. How does that feel for everyone, for our collective tonight?
Beautifully put, Jilly. Really appreciate it. So once again, we have to thank Jill Diliberti. You know her as Jilly Beans, for spending 2.5 hours plus with us tonight, giving full moon readings. Awesome stuff, Jill. She'll be back with us again, maybe even before our side-by-side. We'll have more on that in a bit. So again, next week's schedule, Monday night now, not Tuesday, but Monday night, I should be live to gather questions for 2 special guests next week. Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, Celtic Tarot Sheila joins us for her first one-on-one on Bridge Cape Ann. And then Wednesday, this time slot, 6:30 Eastern time, we will be with Deborah Lupian, a voice of the Akashic Records. She's an author of several books. She's been a longtime follower of this channel, and she has also collaborated with Sheila in the past, and she reached out, had a great chat with her today. So she'll be joining us for the first time next week. And then 2 weeks time, we'll probably have Bridge Buddy Roulette, where we'll be, we got to get Christian back on the air here. Maybe old guy, maybe Jill joins us then. But then Jill and I will be here 2 weeks. I think that's March 22nd. It's a Wednesday evening, side by side, right here at Bridge headquarters. And during that show, she'll be answering questions in real time, but we'll also be raffling off a free 1-hour reading with Jilly Beans. And if you want to get in on that, subscribe to Bridge Cape Ann as a Bridge Buddy. Annalie has that link for you. And there is that. I will post the schedule and latest info in our community tab. If you're signed up for the Bridge Cape Ann newsletter, it'll be in there as well too. So thank you for everyone for your eyes and ears again. So
Yes.
Any last thoughts, Jilly?
No, just big thanks to everyone for being so welcoming to me as a new guest and a new contributor to the show. All your lovely comments. I can't wait to read them again tomorrow. And I just look forward to see what else we're going to do. And I promise not to tease you next time, Corey, with a Cadbury egg, unless I have one to hand you.
At least one. Yeah, you owe me. Okay, so there's that. So Jill, you have yourself a great night. I'm sure I'll talk to you sooner than later. Everyone out there, thanks again for your time, your eyes and your ears. Christian, Annalie, thankful. Always appreciate the wrench work, and great support in the chat for one another that I noticed as well. We had covered a lot of topics, so I hope you enjoyed the full moon readings with Jilly Beans. That is it from now for Bubba and the Good Doctor and the vegetable kingdom, sweet potatoes and carrots. We thank you, and we will see you ASAP back here at Bridge Cape Ann. So adios for now. Have a good night, Jill.
Bye. Good night, everyone. Thank you.